That's how y'all do it in Savannah. All right. Listen, thank you. I Stand on That podcast here once again on Sunday. Listen, guys, we apologize. We know we had y'all listening to a little bit more music than we intended to this morning or this evening. But we just wanted to make sure that when we came in correct. So, I Stand on That podcast here, episode 7. Listen, low key, I'm proud as hell of 7 episodes, bro. Like, it's not easy to get so many different people on one page as consecutively as we've done it. So I appreciate y'all brothers and y'all consistency and your constancy to purpose. You know what I mean? So we are here. We are going to try to bring some real heat and some thunder to y'all today. We want to set y'all work week off the right way. Like, really get your mind working, get some things going. But we're going to ease into it, too, though. We're not gonna move too fast. So, it is G Money here with the I Stand On That podcast, as usual. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with us. Thank you for that. D.A., go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yo, it's your boy D.A. with I Stand On That. I'm glad y'all here. We're about to get it in tonight.
Just keep it soulful, man. This is a kill.
It's Mr. Bird. Pleasure to be here, and I'm pleasure that you're here with me.
Yo, Mr. Daily Insight, a.k.a. Lump, coming through again, guys. Listen, Molly G, I'm going to do some shout-outs real quick. Thank you for lending us this actual radio show, B-SideRadio show group. That's who's sponsoring us right now. Also, for you guys to tune in, not on Facebook, but Speaker Radio, Google Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. You guys can catch us. Look for B-Side Radio Show, and then you'll find I Stand On That podcast. So tune in, share, subscribe, tell your friends, family members. We're here each and every Sunday, 7 p.m. We'll try to make sure we're on the dot. But again, I'm going to give it back to Gary on that one. So,
all right, listen, appreciate you guys. So we are here, man, and listen, so we're going to start this thing off with something kind of like, I'm honestly really confused and conflicted by this. I don't even know how to feel, right? I think 10 years ago I would have been lit to this. Like, I would have been like, yeah, this is finna be that doing, right?
Yeah.
So the first topic, right, is I was kind of perusing the internet, and I saw this article that said that Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Too Short, and E40 have decided to come together and make a super group.
Snoop.
They're going to call it Mount Westmore, right? It sounds dope. I don't know if that's my Mount Westmore, but it might be. I guess it could be, right? But so the two things I want y'all to weigh in on is, what are your expectations from these old-ass niggas getting together to form a super group? And then two, is this your Mount Westmore? Like, if you could create a Mount Westmore, would it be these guys? So let's start with that part, right? Do they have the right to call themselves Mount Westmore? So I'm going to actually, let's first throw this thing over here to Bird. Like, are they qualified to say that they're going to be Mount Westmore, which means that they are the greatest in the West?
Okay, so speaking from my opinion, Snoop definitely from a lyrical standpoint, from just the art in itself, you know what I mean, can definitely be on that list. Ice Cube, definitely. I would give Ice Cube, you know what I mean, great reference to that list as well. And I think that a lot of them have deserved it, like they deserve it, they earned it. When it comes down to the way in which I feel about if they should be called that from a historical standpoint, yeah, man. I mean, I don't know anyone else right now from a historical standpoint in their same time that put in the same amount of effort that they did that could say that. You know what I mean? Each person that's in that category has really made a major impact in the West. So when I sit down and think about Too Short, for example, like, I've been in the Bay Area. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it goes dumb. Like, they go for Too Short. You know, Snoop, that's a representation in itself. You know what I mean? Like, when you hear Snoop, what do you think of?
L.A.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and when Ice Cube is just in his own era due to the fact of the way in which he did his thing. But in his time, he was it. You know what I mean? He was it. So, I definitely feel that it's a great saying for them to have, and I think that they've earned it.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna be real with you. Mm-hmm. I think that listen, I just feel like there's somebody that we might be missing, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm just going like,
you don't want to say it.
I don't want to say it because listen, I'm trying to get y'all thoughts and opinions. So, listen, all due respect, like, let's not get it twisted. Too Short is a GOAT.
Facts.
Snoop is a GOAT.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Q, he's a GOAT.
Yes.
Like, I'm not saying that these aren't, like, E40, like, real talk, what he's accomplished. Oh, no, he's a GOAT. Look how many albums he got. Look at how many hits he's got. I'm not talking about whether or not they GOATs. Mm-hmm. Right? But, and that's why I want to make sure y'all understand. DA, talk to me. Not to say whether they GOATs or not, right? Because we're gonna give them their flowers right now. Right. But could they say that they are the 4 people that should be etched in stone to represent the West right now?
See, for me, when I think about that, I feel as if there's 2 artists. I think there's 2 artists that are missing from this Mount Westmore, and that's Nipsey Hussle. I think Nipsey should be up there, and I also think.
I mean, and I just want to ask you really quick as you make that point.
Yeah.
Can we include Nipsey in a supergroup that is to be recorded? And that's the only thing, right?
No. I mean, I'm just thinking about the first idea. Well, you asked 2 questions, so I'm thinking about it from.
Should they legitimately be able to call themselves Mount Westmore?
Yeah. And so that's what right. So when I think of my Mount Westmore,
right?
There's
Nipsey, some people that are missing.
There's 2 people in particular for me that are missing.
Who is that?
That's Nipsey and that's Tupac.
So that's you bring it. I knew you were going to do it. I knew you were going to do it, which is why I hit you with the LeBron.
Yeah. And I think.
But here's my problem.
Yeah.
Does Tupac get to go on Mount Westmore when he's not from the West?
But he was a part of bringing. He was a big part of bringing national attention to the West. He was a significant figure. He heavily aligned himself. Like he wrote. He made
the second half of his career.
Yeah, but still, it was. Nobody questioned it. Even when we talk about East Coast, West Coast beef, who's on the West Coast when we acknowledge on that?
But because this is Mount Westmore.
Yeah, and so
I'm asking you. I'm just bringing a point to life.
Yeah, so that means
he's not from the West.
No, he's not from the West, but he's not born and raised in the West, but he is significant when it comes to West Coast hip hop. That's Pac.
But that's like saying that. So you think New York is going to give Pac up like that?
I don't think New York ever claimed Pac like that.
Wow.
I don't think
Jersey
claimed, I don't think Jersey claimed Pac like that. They don't call it the East Coast West Coast beef. They could have said it was a beef on I-95. They could have said that, but they didn't call it that. You know what I'm saying? Ooh. This was so. There's a reason. So I think Pac belongs, and I also think Nipsey belongs. But as far as the super group is concerned, in terms of making music, I think that this super group is going to do a good job. Because I look forward to hearing those artists, do their thing together over,
but
various
you
beats.
Respect them calling themselves Mount Westmore. It's not like...
Yeah, I'm not going to really push on that.
Okay, it's acceptable to you.
Yeah.
Blake?
I think when you look at everything that these artists have accomplished, you're probably talking about over 120 albums collectively together. Mm-hmm. Like, seriously? Over or close to 100 albums. Too Short, I mean, we've been listening to Tupac since the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Too Short since the 80s. Snoop, early 90s. Cube with Ice Cube. Cube with NWA. Like, for them to actually come together and form a super group, although, first of all, I agree. I think it's good. Do I think it's kind of late? Yes. Yeah. But at this stage of their career, I don't know if something within them is trying to correct the wrong from influencing so many generations of music and saying, hey, Pistol, this, blah, 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 this and this. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Their souls might be trying to say, hey, let's right our wrongs right now. I don't know. I just don't know. But do I agree with the super? To answer the question directly, do I agree with the super group? Yes. Do I think the timing of it is wrong? A little. I just think that you can't take anything away from all of these rappers and everything that they accomplished. So now, since they're at the end of their career, they can actually form a super group. You know, they can actually form a super group. You know, because with them forming a super group, they're going to teach this young generation. They're going to teach this younger generation what it was like to have music with substance.
Okay.
Was. So,
I listen, I feel you, right? I still feel like, you know what? Before I go in, right? Because I feel like somebody gonna disagree with me heavily, but that's cool. Before I go in, Mr. Daily Insight, come on, man. Like,
hey, listen, I ain't gonna hold you. DA arrived to the house early, right? So we were talking about. Hey, did we talk about the subjects? Mm-hmm. We went all down the subjects. We got to Mount Rushmore, whatever. And I said, who your people? Of course, as you knew, he threw in what?
Yeah.
Nipsey and what's his name?
I knew he was going to do that.
And Dave, I'm going to let you iterate. Who did I say? Do you remember? If you don't, that's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm going to remember once you said Cube. I thought
No. Cube was already in there. But I said Dr. Dre.
Facts.
Hold on.
Because I told him when we spoke, I said that he changed he made the sound. I made the sound.
Correct.
No, you triggered me. No, you're right.
So I said I would take out probably E40. Yeah. This is just me. If I'm creating the four,
wow,
I'm going to take E40 out. Okay. I grew up on the sounds of all those guys. I was yay high 5 years old. Listen to all them guys, all their music.
Mr. Daly, let me ask you this.
Yes, okay.
What if they turned around and said, and Dr. Dre is going to produce the whole album?
But they said that Dr. Dre will be producing on this album.
No, I said the whole album.
The whole album.
Meaning that makes him it kind of makes him a member of the Mount Westmore, right? So instead of taking somebody out, what if we just add in what made Dr. Dre one of the you know what I'm saying?
So keep those same four people. And let him produce the beats and everything and just produce everything yet? That's what you're saying?
I mean, of course he could be featured on some tracks if they want to, but I'm just saying if they committed that, listen, this is a whole West Coast project, and Dr. Dre is the one who invented the original like West Coast sound that from what we're talking about, from East Coast, West Coast rivalry,
we know
from
Dre.
Tupac, right? You know, California Love. You know what I mean? So I'm talking about the guy who probably kind of really created the sound that the West Coast kind of brought in that most people actually really recognize. As soon as you hear Dr. Dre beat, you know it's a Dre beat, right? Like, at the end of the day, don't get me wrong. You know, TDE got some producers. We got a lot of West Coast producers that are hot. But what I'm saying is, what if instead of taking E40 out, you just add Dre in as a producer and be featured on a couple of tracks every now and then make it a 5-man Mount Westmore instead of 4-man.
I think that would be phenomenal.
I think I was already under the assumption that Dr. Dre would produce the majority of the album because they mentioned Dr. Dre's name in there as far as producing tracks.
But they didn't include him in the group. And so what I'm saying is...
But is he really known as a rapper?
Yes.
Dr. Dre known as a rapper or producer?
The Chronic. The Chronic 2000 what?
It's him rapping.
Bro.
So let me ask you brothers a question though. Like, okay, so lyrically though. Lyrically. You know.
Which is why I'm saying I don't want to remove E40. That's not going to do us the service.
But you got to send too.
Wait. Yeah. Lyrically, as we're speaking, because when the question was asked to me, I took it from a standpoint was, do I accept it? Is it okay? You know what I mean? Like, do I agree with those who are there? Lyrically, that's a different situation. Not one of us mentioned Easy. That was crazy to me. Like, That was big.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. When I started talking about this topic, and even when I first passed it to you, I wasn't thinking that we was gonna go posthumous, right? Because in my mind, I'm thinking, you know what I'm saying? Like the reason why I'm saying, listen, is this your Mount Westmore? Because if it's not, then you got to be saying that you don't really agree with them being able to call themselves Mount Westmore.
But it's a now.
You see me?
But the reason why I brought that up is because it's a now. The reason why I didn't mention Tupac is not now. The reason
Right,
why
absolutely.
Nipsey Hussle, it's not now.
But what you said was it was acceptable that they used the name, right?
Right. Because of now. Like,
Correct.
they're relevant.
But you're saying that they wouldn't be your Mount Westmore. But
from a holistic, like from then
from
till now,
from history to hit.
No, definitely not. No.
But even when Dave mentioned Nipsey, I give great credit to Nipsey lyrically. You understand what I'm saying? Like he set a tone for the now. You understand? But at the same time, when it comes to accomplishments, that he wasn't able to do as much as these people that are here now.
I mean,
due to the time span, brother.
But what are we like? See, what's the criteria, right? Because like, if we took that in a real Mount West Rushmore, like you got Teddy Roosevelt.
No, we talking about Mount Westmore.
I'm not making an illustration.
No, I feel
you got Roosevelt up there, and it's a bit self-serving that he's up there with the other people, and so it's like, so the question what I'm trying to say is, when we look at what goes into putting someone up there, you know what I'm saying?
The elements.
Well, yeah. What's the criteria for me? You look at somebody like Nipsey, like his whole approach to music and his content was groundbreaking. It showed cats like you don't have to go do the same 360, 720 deals.
You can put knowledge in rap too.
And then you can put knowledge in rap. And he was a man. He did that for years before he dropped his first album.
Time was cut short.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, come on, like, and then we talk about Kendrick too, like these guys, like I mean,
but hold on.
I'm just giving it to y'all. Like,
here's what I'm saying. Like, because this is going to be one of them topics that we get in pretty quick, right? Or this thing could go on forever, right?
Yeah.
So here's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, right? I feel what you're saying. And listen, at the end of the day, is everybody got their own, personal opinions and whether they're objectionable to it or not. My thing is, dude, now listen, I'm not going to let anyone say, if y'all are going to include Pac and y'all going to include Cube, then we can't start saying that Nipsey was the first to inject like knowledge into lyrics. You know what I'm saying? We can't
easy. Like, I'm sorry, I listen to Easy.
Yeah, like you can't say that.
And not to hold you. And then I told Dave as well. We can interject. We can put in our other people. We can put in Easy. We can put in all the other. So we can do this like we do basketball. We do sports. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. So,
if Mount Westmore were the Temptations, and the members had to keep moving and evolving right over time, because then I could see this being a version of a Mount Westmore, right? I still think Dr. Dre need to be in there if he's alive and breathing. You know what I'm saying?
Real quick question: who y'all think is undisputed? If like on every ballot, he'd make the list.
Snoop Dogg. Snoop.
I think Snoop too.
Snoop.
I mean, it's got to be. Listen, first of all, I think that there's two currently still alive.
He's first.
Who is your two current?
Like who's
that you putting with Snoop?
Like
Snoop and Cube. I don't care who you talk to. I think they're gonna put Snoop and Cube in that group, because not everybody's not gonna love Too Short. Yeah. I love Too Short, but everybody may not love Too Short. Mm-hmm. Here's what I'm saying: if you go ask my wife, right? And not to say my wife don't listen to hip hop, but she ain't on it like that. Yeah. She not listening to Too Short. Yeah. She know Too Short songs, but she ain't listening to Too Short.
That's the reason.
But she listening to Cube.
It's the reason. It's the reason why
she listening to Cube. She listening to, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, from a widespread standpoint, I think that everybody would include Ice Cube, especially if they have any understanding of hip hop history,
right?
And definitely Snoop. Those are the two that are most in your face anyway.
So let me ask you guys a question to spin off on that. So, do you think if Ice Cube wasn't more of a global phenomenon, like he's been in movies, he's been in the Ice Cube catalog is how many albums have Ice Cube dropped?
There's a lot, like 12, 14, something like that.
Right, but a lot of Ice Cube presence is known now because of the movies that he's been in.
It don't matter, bro. You can't erase his importance.
No, I'm not. I'm
his solo rap career.
I'm not. But what I'm
think-
saying is, when you're talking about from an
Yeah.
album standpoint, just music standpoint, that's why that like Ice Cube and Too Short may be interchangeable, but Snoop definitely. I'm going Snoop and Cube.
I would say when I speak of Ice Cube has some songs and lyrics in which are undeniable. He's great. But longevity, like he said, he was more global. Snoop continued even with Pharrell. He continued.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but how many times did let's not get it twisted now, right? I mean, dude, don't forget we got what was that? Dub C. What was the super group he had before with Mac 10 and Dub C? West Side Connection.
Yeah, West Side Connection. Yeah,
Right? So you got NWA, West Side Connection, then his solo career as a whole. Like, bro, and longevity-wise, we talking about from the 80s all the way to 2000. Even if you said he went movie Hollywood
Not in
movie,
commercials.
like
You
you
bid.
still, but you still talking about 2000, from 80-something to 2008?
Let's not forget his pen and pad. The boy was a writer.
Oh, no, he's a monster,
Oh, yeah, of course,
bro.
yeah,
So I'm giving it to him. Don't say
Yeah, I'm with you.
He got Snoop got tons of hits.
more than 116
But
singles.
Cube was, but you got to remember that the type of person Cube made hits that we see hits.
Yeah.
Snoop made hits that the world sees as hits, and that's because Cube was talking to us different,
Absolutely.
and he did it for a reason. Listen, don't sleep on, like, bro, like, at some point in time, if we talk about a Mount Westmore, we do have to be honest and start talking about, like, dude, let's not forget about Ice-T.
Oh,
Like, bro, there's people that need to be included in the conversation.
Underrated when you look at time, though, brother. Like longevity. Everybody will always know Snoop for music. You can know Ice Cube and Ice-T for a few different things, brother. You look at Ice-T now from a kid's generation perspective, they know him as what? SVU. They know him as SVU.
Okay.
You look at Ice Cube right now, a lot of kids know him from the big screen, as he was saying.
Yeah, type job.
But as like you said, people that know and understand music,
Right.
that's respect. You know what I mean? Like,
So,
respect.
but that's
for
why your
respect.
Mount Westmore matters to me.
Absolutely.
Like, not
Okay.
that you can't have your own opinion, but I'm gonna know exactly where you
stand,
are
where you stand.
and what your understanding of music is just based on what you tell me. So here's what we know. This is somewhat acceptable by some standards because each of them has definitely represented well for the West Coast.
Absolutely.
But would that be the ultimate Mount Westmore? Probably not.
No.
So listen, we got to move forward. But before we move forward, at least let's let the people know, like, whether we gonna listen or dismiss it, right? So I just want to let's sound off, and we gonna start with Bird.
Yeah.
Bird, let us know if you're gonna listen or dismiss it.
I'm listening.
I'm listening.
Listening.
Listen. So here's what I'm telling you.
Listen,
Here's what we can stand on. I need some good music, bruh.
Yeah.
And so if they can come through, it could be historical.
No, bro, they're gonna make money.
So
They gonna make some money.
I guess what we can all stand on is that we listening to the Mount Westmore.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They might not be the ultimate Mount Westmore, but for right now, we gonna have to accept it and let's give these jokers their flowers while they still here.
facts.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cube, Snoop, E40, Too Short for always keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? Like, keeping what E40 say with the mustard and the mayonnaise. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them boys from the West Coast, to the Bay Area, Yay Area, whatever it is. Here's what we're going to stand on. We're going to stand on the fact that it's definitely worth listening. Because right now, what we need more than anything else is quality music, bro.
Yeah.
Real talk. So, we're going to pay some bills. We're going to flip the topic. And we're going to be right back. Stay with us, Facebook Live.
Young nigga with a big pistol. Hey. Young nigga with a big pistol. Huh? Okay. Yeah. Hey. Young nigga with a big pistol in the trap house with a bell on it. Selling pedigree but ain't dog food. Got fish get under my nails, homie. Gotta move in silence cause these bitch niggas wanna tell on me. Niggas say he gon' try me, but somebody better tell her, homie. A young nigga with a big pistol. Young nigga with a big pistol. Yeah. I'm a young nigga with a big pistol. tell her, homie.
At a young age, nigga, make it move. Cousin showed me how to work a tool. Dude showed me how to cut the food. Doubled up with my profit too. Snake showed me how to jump over. Straight drop and lock it too. Bad bitches coming by the two. Won't be city fruit. Understand what this money do. Yo, main man, he'll punish you. Smiling faces turn to dying faces. Bag chasing, yeah, I do it daily. Wish I would let a nigga play me. On site, glizzy activated. Headshot, bullet penetrating. Fuck around, get deactivated. Curl dripping like he out the 80s. Trap banging line going crazy. Set say he just birthed the baby. Bag heavy, do nothing basic. Glock 30 don't come with safety. What that mean? Don't try to play me. Glock 30s don't come with safety. What that mean? Don't try to play me. 30.
Young nigga with a big pistol in the trap house with a bell on me. Selling pedigree but ain't dog food. Got fish get under my nails, homie. Gotta move in silence cause bitch niggas wanna tell on me. Niggas say he gon' try me, but somebody better tell her, homie. I'm a young nigga with a big pistol. Yeah. Young nigga with a big pistol. Yeah. I'm a young nigga with a big pistol. Yeah. Young nigga with a big pistol. Somebody better tell her, homie. Niggas know how I'm rockin'. Play with me, I'ma pop that bitch. Young nigga, keep it silent. If you get caught up, don't never snitch. Callin' players great, pop a bitch. I know you haters wanna stop this. Nah, but you can't come get your bitch. Ain't got time for that messy shit. I'm hustling hard, tryna get rich. Situation getting sticky. Can't let the feds come get me. So I move the pack so swiftly. In the street selling G units, got the grams going for 50. She treat the dick just like a step. All she wanna do is lick it. Money on my mind, it's all I'm trying to get. I can read between the lines, I know you kinda fit. Cute face, thick thighs, you my kinda chick. I can see the runner's mind on my Scarface shit. Young nigga with a big pistol in the trap house with a bell on me. Selling pedigree but ain't dog food. Got fish get under my nails, homie. Gotta move in silence cause bitch niggas wanna tell on me. Niggas say he gon' try me, but somebody better tell her, homie. I'm a young nigga with a big pistol. Yeah. Young nigga with a big pistol. Yeah. I'm a young nigga with a big pistol. Yeah. Young nigga with a big pistol. Somebody better tell her, homie.
Calibosi, Sanjay, young wings, picture one, can you feel my pain? Nights and days I've worked for this. Many times I feel like cry, but still my faith. Never make me lose my way, I'ma pray. But as I start being off the east, spoke a face system business, cause all me see a crop in a barrel. John who know on the enemies. Them not gonna live to see the worst of we. Just know say still, all my sacrifice not go so still. To them no know ya, know ya. They don't know my pain. Know where I'ma grow ya, grow ya. Feel my pain. Nights and days I've worked for this. Many times I feel like cry, but still my faith.
back. Welcome back, everybody. We are out here on B-SideRadio, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Spreaker. Listen,
Absolutely.
everywhere. We out here on these streets, man. So we just had a lively debate continuing during the commercial period about this Mount Westmore thing. What we not going to do is go back into that because I told y'all we can do this all day.
Absolutely.
But I do want to shout out to Gates. I want to shout out to Ray D.
Shout out to Gates.
At the end of the day, I think there's some controversy, and I want y'all to keep weighing in on it because we're going to come back to that off air. But listen, is Nipsey hustling this group? Like, people are saying Nipsey belongs, and then some people are saying absolutely not. Kind of weigh in on that, man. How much does history matter?
Look at my crew.
But so let's go
They
into the
see
next
us.
topic, though, right? Because B-Side Radio deserves that much for us to
Time
stay
down
on task.
checks. Come on, man.
So the next topic that we were planning on talking about, and this is going to be interesting. I know that we said that we wanted to kind of continue to engage the audience, especially on topics like this about COVID. It's about COVID romance. How the pandemic has rewritten relationships, right? And listen, at the end of the day, we got two different parts of this conversation, right? And I'm kind of deviating and just telling you where my mind went when I read the article. So the first component is the impact of the pandemic on relationships that were already in existence.
Yeah.
Like people being locked down together, whether they want to be or not. You know what I mean? Like if you was in a relationship just to pay the bills, like because you was stuck.
Yeah, you got to think about
Like how has that impacted like everything? Right? Like is the divorce rate going up? Is it going down? Like where are we at? Like so at the end of the day, it's the COVID romance and how it has impacted people that were already in relationships. But then how does it impact those who are trying to get into a relationship? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sitting up here and I'm lonely, and I want to do some things, right? I want to chill, I want to vibe, I want to kick it. But at the end of the day, I don't trust you. Like I don't want you bringing COVID up near me.
No, facts.
Right? So how is this impacting dating? Right? Like how? Like listen, a couple of y'all are single. A couple of us are not.
Yeah.
So
both sides of the story.
I'm interested to hear from Bird and DA as two individuals who who are not married, right? So at the end of the day, you're still dating, whether it's a consistent girlfriend or whether it's different individuals trying to figure that out.
Or slide.
However you want to quantify what your situation is.
Or being, as they call it in 305, a shown.
I'm not singing your song unless you pay me. So at the end of the day, like how has it impacted you, and what do you see as the potential issues or benefits to what COVID has brought to the dating scene? So Bert, I'm gonna start with you because I feel like I'm terrified about what I'm gonna get from DA in a minute. Like, I'm terrified. All right, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. DA, man, give us some of your give me your thoughts on how this has impacted your dating
to be
world.
honest, like so when the pandemic began, I was living in New Jersey. Right? I was living in New Jersey. And so it was weird. I mean, when everybody was finding out that this thing floating in the air, killing people, you know, I didn't want to even be outside. You know, I didn't like even get in my mail because I lived in the building when I had to go downstairs and go to the mailbox. I didn't even want to walk down the hallway because I was afraid of contracting COVID. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you because people was dying for real. And I was in New Jersey, hard hit. You feel me? Just like New York City. And I lived in, you know, and so for me, in the first few months of the pandemic, like the first couple of months, I was chill. I was cool on meeting anybody, trying to see anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because even a couple of shorties I was talking to at the same time, they had people.
A couple of shorties?
a couple of shorties that I had at that time, they had
shown it.
That boy shown.
No, I'm just saying they had people that they knew in their own lives.
I hope they know who they are.
They had people that they had in their own lives that had died because of COVID. So they were freaked out. You feel me?
Yeah.
And so then after like that second month or so, I ain't gonna lie, I hit the road because I got kind of tired of being inside. You know what I'm saying? I hit the road and went to go check out somebody else. You know what I'm saying? She lived out of state in a state that, you know what I'm saying, they were a little bit more open. You feel me? So did that whole thing. And that was for a week or whatnot. But I was like, bro, I can't continue this cycle because trying to meet people on Hinge, people talking about, you know, doing FaceTime dates, and I thought that was kind of weird and corny. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do nothing like that. And so I decided to come down to Florida, you know what I'm saying, because Florida was a little bit more open. And because I was like, yo, it's crazy to think that, you know, it's the same disease in New York as it is in Florida, but I was willing to risk it more because everybody else was risking it. You know what I'm saying? It sounds strange. Like you're willing to die over some pussy, and it's like for me, I was like, yo, it's more about re-socializing. You know what I'm saying, and really getting out of this cabin fever. And so for me, I think that this pandemic, like if you had a low roster or nobody, like you struggled, and because
hey, hold on. Just for the people who don't know what a roster is, can you quickly define what a roster is?
That is several people that you're seeing intimately over a course of time.
Intimately.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Finish. I didn't
facts.
want.
And so. We're just speaking openly right now. You feel me? And I'm just saying, if you were not, you know what I'm saying? You was in a drought, yo. It was gonna be bad for you. And so, but you know what? That is kind of like so. What I'm saying is like, COVID exposed relationship statuses as well. You know what I'm saying? It like even dating. I know people. We're going to transition to the folks that are in committed relationships, but even in the dating aspect, if someone was serious with you, they would have risked it, and if someone wasn't, they ain't trying to do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we can say health and risk, but love make you do stupid things. So if someone ain't doing a stupid thing for you, then they wasn't with you.
Listen, shout out to Gates out there. He said, you know, just to kind of elaborate on your roster, he said, listen, you got to have a rotation according to the young Gates out there. Got to have a rotation.
Gates will understand it.
You know what I mean? Shout out to your playoff roster. You ain't got to have a full season roster, but at least have a playoff roster. You got to be able to pull somebody and put them on the bench if they start acting up. You know what I'm talking about? But listen, don't listen to me, man. I'm more than 20 years removed from the game, baby. Don't listen to me. Listen, back when I was still hollering at females who was, I want to be your mother, your father, your brother, your sister. Do you feel me, baby? You know, so listen, it's been a minute for me. So, Bird, I guess at the end of the day, we relying on you because you the only one still out there moving in them streets, right? So we leaving it up to you to keep Dave honest.
I mean, from my standpoint, brother, my relationship has shown me, like David said, COVID can expose a lot of things, but the main thing is time. You know what I mean? And if you can't take time and spend time with an individual in that period in which you're in, whether it's 5 months, 6 months, whatever, then that shows you a few things about you and that individual. Now, each person does need space from someone. No matter if it's a brother, sister, wife, husband, no matter what it is, you kind of need that alone time. But what I've come to understand is, like me and Dave have talks about women all the time, but COVID showed me something that most people probably didn't see, and that's longevity. You know, COVID showed you, can it last? You know, COVID showed you, is it worth it? COVID showed you bad habits. You know what I mean? COVID allowed you to not only see a person for who they are, but for what they can be. You know what I mean? Because I've I've come to a point to understand that when you're in a relationship, you have those times where you may be away from that person between 8 to 10 hours a day, right? Now imagine if those 8 to 10 hours a day were taken away and you were with that person all day long. You start to learn some new things, no matter if you've been in a relationship 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, you start to learn some new things now, right? And no matter if it agitates you or not, if you accept those things the same way you first did, you got something going. Now, if you have a roster...
No.
If you have a rotation, this is where COVID can mess you up at. Because... one thing that I believe in, relationship or not, when you open a door, meaning that you have a rotation, you're not committed, but you have a rotation, and you're seeing multiple women, those women can be seeing multiple men. You understand what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'm at a point where it's like, well, if you're scared of COVID, then you're scared of a few other women in which you may be partaking with at this time, you know? So I looked at COVID in a way as which I'm not going out I wasn't even seeing a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just being honest. I'm being honest.
That boy is serious.
You know? But at the end of the day, though, you know what I mean? I think you get to a point in your relationship where it's like, things are tested, but it's for a reason. And either you pass the test or you don't. And it's not a 70% or 80%. Stay in that 90% to 100 range. And if you're in that range where it's like, you know what, it's been tough, but it's been lovely, keep it. And if you're in that shit where it's like, I still need to rotate, then you know where you are.
Listen, here's what I want to know, right? Because I feel you on that. First of all, let me start with this, right? I've had some friends ask me about even just doing stuff like going to the strip club, right? And I can't imagine, right, how it doesn't impact the dating scene, because in my mind, the first place I'm going to catch COVID is the strip club. Like you just left this guy. Like, you on that paper chase. I know you are not, like, sanitizing your body.
Right.
In between rotation of dances, right?
Right, from lap to
So
lap.
I'm just saying, I feel like COVID is definitely alive and well in the strip club. So I feel I'm just saying, but that's an old man's perspective. Right. I ain't like. So let's kind of bring it back. So here's where I'm at. I know for me and for my wife, it was definitely. It's had its moments. It's had its trials and it's had its triumphs, right? Like, there have been some tests. Like, boy, I'm tired of looking at your old, I seen you for the last 21 years, ass face type motherfucker. Like, so there's been some days when I know I have driven her absolutely crazy, right? And I know that there's been some days where it's been like the best day ever. You know what I'm saying? Because it's forcing us to spend more and more time together. It's forcing us to get to know each other again after 20 years. Like, oh, you not like that no more? You don't like that no more? I used to. Oh, no, I just let you do it because I thought you just enjoyed doing it type time, right? Because but I only wanted to do it because you used to love it, right? And so it's forcing up a lot of different conversations for me. Like, but what it is it's bringing the togetherness and the closeness and the connection back together to last for another 20 years. Yeah. Like we almost like basically we was forced to date again because you wasn't going to be able to go out and see nobody else. You know what I'm saying? And so we wanted to watch a movie. We was watching it at the house. Guess what? We watching it together then, I guess. Okay, cool.
I guess.
So, like, you know, but I'm just saying, like when COVID first started, and we was, like, confined to the house and couldn't do anything. Bro, when I'm telling you, when we was confined to the crib, it was like, all right. Oh, yeah, I was going to watch that later. Oh, but you going to watch it right now? Oh, okay. I might as well sit down and watch it, right? Like, it literally created scenarios because it wasn't like I could be like, well, I'm going to go here and come back. I'm stuck in the house. Yeah. So, like, at the end of the day, it really encouraged that compromise. Like, I'm not going to hold you. I'm not going to lie. Listen, if you can't compromise, you don't survive a pandemic in a relationship. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. At least not from where I stand. Mr. Daily Insight, what's your thoughts?
Let me ask a question before
Yeah.
we get there. With your situation, with you being married,
Absolutely.
and we're not talking about, because you left off with relationship, you know what I mean? And I think that we need to definitely have a separation of relationships, you know what I mean? Because you're married, you know what I mean? So you can't leave this house.
For a time frame, you can.
We're talking about pandemic.
But let's not get it.
Let's talk about COVID.
Yeah, don't get it twisted though. It ain't like people ain't never went and got a hotel room was like, fuck you, I ain't coming to the crib tonight.
And I understand that.
Yeah.
But the reason why I'm asking is because with you not being able to leave, not saying that you wanted to, but like with you being in this same space for this amount of time, do you think that would differ as far as causing distance between somebody who does have that way of leaving and, you know, having that freedom and space?
Well, here's what I think it does, right? I think it forces your hand, right? It forces conversation.
Okay.
Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. There is no retreat. There is no, let me wave the white flag and come back and fight, next week.
So what do you say to that person who says, don't force things? Like, don't force things. Like, don't force anything.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Because that's a marriage standpoint. Like, do you understand what I mean by when I say don't force things as far as...
Oh, no, don't get it wrong.
Do you still force it?
Here's what I'm saying. Don't get it wrong. Don't think that it's not like a situation where, like, for example, don't think for 1 second that what I'm suggesting is that my wife and I haven't said, go to your corner, I'm going to go to my corner.
Absolutely. Okay.
But what I'm also saying is, back in the day, I could leave the house and be gone for a couple of days or a couple of hours or whatever, just depending on your living situation, your arrangements, whatever. Right. I could leave and come back when I'm ready to have a conversation or when I'm ready to act like the conversation already happened.
Okay.
Versus now, right, in a COVID type situation, don't mean you can't go to your corner and come back later. But y'all gonna meet each other again in a minute in the kitchen.
Right.
She gonna be getting something, and you gonna be getting something, and eventually, guess what she gonna say? She gonna bring it back up.
Okay.
So it's forcing you to have, like, bro, you're gonna have a conversation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing: she might not. Listen. My wife will be the one that'll shut down. She won't say a word, and I'll be like, I was only trying to help. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And guess what happens? It reignites the conversation.
Rekindles the flame.
So at the end of the day, it's forcing a hand from where I stand, and that's what I was referring to.
Okay, got you.
Mr. Daily Insight. How have you survived? You got a baby, a new baby. Yeah. Like sleepless nights.
Well, yeah, that's part of the game, but whatever. We're good with that.
Only Mr. Daily Insight could minimize that one right there.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of time I hear people talk about at my job about the fact they got new babies and it's staying up. This man said, "Oh, that's."
I'm gonna be up and I'm gonna be getting stuff done productive while I'm up anyway. So it's a blessing and a curse at the same time, to be honest. So, turn a negative to a positive. Good. So, all right. So, forced communication. You kind of hinted at that. With the queen, she's the one to want to have a conversation right now. Just with me, I want to gather my thoughts. I want to retreat. And say, hey, can we reinvent? Can we do this another time? Can I go down the street? Can I go jog and come back and have it? No, I want to have it now. So, and that right, it forces me to say what? All right, put your big boy pants on. We're gonna have this conversation right now. All right, you're gonna dig deep. We gonna talk. And we gonna get out the way. You understand? Versus when I had the opportunity to kind of with the COVID. All right, go out. Hey, I gotta go do something real quick. Let me come back. Boom. I'm right. I escape. Whoo! I hope she don't bring it up no more. So, but now I can't do that. I can't do that right now. You know what I mean? Versus you fellas, you have that. Hey man, or you can have the option to say, you know what, I'm done with it altogether.
Yeah.
Or if I'm really digging you, let's have the conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
no, facts.
But I was forced to have the conversation, and honestly, like you said, either you're committed to it or you're not. At the end of the day, you understand? So it forced me to be committed to it and say, you know what, if it's worth it, if the pros outweigh the cons, then guess what? It's going to happen and you guys going to make it work. So I think we've grown, to say the least. And honestly, I appreciate it because in times where I may be gone, I'm leaving the country, or not the country, but leaving the state or something because I'm doing something, or leaving going to see the family. I'm not able to have these conversations. But now, as you say, with the job, guess what? Somebody had COVID. All right, I'm staying home. I'm working from home. You know what I'm saying? Mrs. Home as well. So, so with that being said, guess what? We're forced to have these conversations. So at the end of the day, it's forced us to have those conversations and those crucial conversations to either get better or call it quits, to say the least. That's the white flag. You know what I mean? That's the white flag. So you just see here. What's the white flag? The white flag. Yeah, the white flag is just exactly. So
I'm already going.
So
I think. Okay.
Now, and you got married.
Recently.
Yeah, he got recently married.
Yeah,
So
please expound.
We got a taste of all the stages of
right. From where you began with the caveman years.
Yeah.
You got a full evolution from caveman years to now. I'm with you.
I think first let's there's a couple terms I want to speak about and focus on. Full self-disclosure, intimacy, not intimacy from a sexual standpoint, but intimacy as it relates to the inner elements of full self-disclosure. But we also got to focus on emotional bonds. Yeah. The question now becomes, how do you keep expanding on the emotional bonds that you have with this individual? And for me, during the COVID, alhamdulillah, I'm very thankful that my wife is a nurse. So she's been taking COVID very serious from the beginning. And so, but what it did from my perspective, from the going from dating to planning a wedding to actually getting married, we literally was racking my brain on, okay, how we can get creative with making sure the people that we want to be in our life in this wedding, could be here. So me, what am I always saying? What's the creative solution? You know what I mean? And that's why we decided to do the video. Yeah. You know what I mean? But as far as keeping our relationship fresh and keeping it going, we got cards, intimacy card games where you can ask questions and really expound and really, really take the time out to really relearn and reappreciate each other. There's a book you can get from Target. It's called 3,000 Questions. It's a great book. You know what I mean? Just doing those little things. And what it did, it fulfilled the element of full self-disclosure, because now you have to be introspective, be open and honest, but you can expound on the emotional bond that you already have with that person. So I think right now, COVID is a time for the believer or the person that's optimistic to stay optimistic, to get creative and find ways to keep it fresh, but keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. You got to learn how to cut out the noise and focus on what's more important. That individual that's right in front of you right now.
Well, and just to piggyback on what you're saying, I think that me, Blake, and Mr. Daily Insight have it the easiest, right, during COVID. Because to me, it's always an easier task. And Facebook, weigh in on this, however y'all feel. But it's always been easier for me to maintain the building than to build it. You see what I'm saying? And so COVID right now for us is more of a maintenance process, right? So every building has two functions, right? You got construction and you got maintenance. You know what I'm saying? So if you have two different, if you have those two different features or elements of every building, right? And so we're gonna draw the parallel that every relationship is its own building, right? So you have construction and maintenance issues. Your door starts to fall off the hinges, that's construction. Cleaning the kitchen every day is maintenance. You see what I'm saying? Using the right materials, the right supply. So right now what I'm saying is we were blessed enough to have already really had the house built when COVID hit. Yeah. Right? Even though Blake got married, he was doing the closing process. It was Queen Blake, I am not saying you were closed on. I'm not listening. No. But right,
she ain't paying DA no mind.
Right. I'm just saying I got to be careful. I only want my words out there. So what I will say is this: at the end of the day, the decision had already been made that this is the house.
Yeah.
This is the house.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine looking for a new house in the midst of the pandemic. That's what I think is the more interesting conversation. You know, I mean, listen, I can tell you some stuff that had you laughing, but I wasn't laughing when it happened to me. Right? But that's the maintenance stories. Right? The more entertaining stories are the stories of, like, oh, I met this female or this male or this partner, this whoever, in the midst of the pandemic, and whatever your own kind of personal concerns may be, right? So, I don't know.
But you still, like I said, you still have the natural elements, whether you dating, courting, or married. 20 years.
But I think it's easier for us than it is for them.
Well,
because y'all kind of locked in.
Wait.
Kinda, I ain't kinda locked in. I'm locked in. Facebook, I'm locked in.
When it comes to the maintenance and construction, I think we need to look at the things in which it took in order for you to construct your building. Okay, so
Facts.
Let's not forget about the process brick by brick that it took to build your home, and now you're maintaining it. Because where we are right now, we're in a process where we're brick by brick right now. And when it came to the COVID was more so the caulk that we used in order to make sure that things were put together. But we also had to make sure that everything within our structure that we're building is something that we will want to maintain.
The foundation.
Absolutely. So there's a difference between you sitting down looking at what it is that you're in as far as a marriage and you looking at a relationship in which you're trying to get to a marriage. So it's easy to, like you said, be in it because you're in it. You know what I mean? Like you've already committed. But when you've committed and you're still trying to get to, that process is still a process. It hasn't been locked in. It hasn't been locked down. And you can still be sure on that woman, but COVID is a process in which tested not the woman, but you. What is it that intrigues you? What is it that still pushes you? Like, you have to ask yourself, like I asked Akil, are you an asset or a liability to this relationship? And I think that time shows which one you are. Are you willing to still assess things and say, you know what, I want to do this long term and I want it for the greater, and not just look at it for the now and say, tomorrow it may be something different. So I think that for me, speaking for myself, when it comes to a building standpoint, what it is that you're trying to build right now, brick by brick, is something that you look at and you say, yeah, I want to maintain this.
I'll say...
I concur with that, brother.
Let me add to this point is that, like, between the two positions, either being in the building or building the building, granted, it's hard to build anything during the storm, right? But I can tell you now, standing outside, I know what I want my building to look like. You know what I'm saying? Because this was a once in a time. This was like a once in a lifetime occurrence. Where now, because of this pandemic, I gotta admit, I'm much smarter and much more intelligent about what I want from a partner. You know what I'm saying? And even in having those discussions to see where someone's mind is in the midst of crisis. You know what I mean? Like, are you like what type of moves you making? What type of thoughts do you have? What type of did your goals shift?
Right.
Did you find ways to self improve?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Absolutely.
And so when I look at the situation for what it is, actually, like it's almost like being a beaver on a running river, right? Like the beaver, the river is always going to run,
right?
But they still got to build the dam.
Absolutely.
They still have to build the dam.
And got to work.
It still has to work. They still have to do it while the water's running.
Absolutely.
And so I'm like, yo, while this water is running, while I'm seeing that, okay, this done changed some things, like the way that we view things, the way that we live now kind of is going to take some changes. The way that we think, because a lot of people thought about the whole, because we went back to basic instinct. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a midst of crisis, so people are looking at, there's more emphasis on being able to protect and provide. There's more emphasis on what do you add to the table to someone who can already do that for themselves.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, though. When you said that you know how you want your house to look, do you mean from a physical standpoint that you know what you want your house to look like? Or do you know what you want your house to maintain as far as the things that are within it? Do you want good painting in your house?
Well, maybe I shouldn't have said look, but more so I know how I want it to be structured.
Absolutely. Okay.
Right.
Like
Okay.
I know that
Okay.
we in the middle, we in Tornado Alley. It needs to be tornado resistant.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if we're in Miami, then we gotta be hurricane resistant.
Absolutely. Put up
You
them
know what I'm
shutters.
saying? Yeah,
Put up them
we gotta be. If we're in California, you gotta be able to withstand an earthquake.
Okay.
So my question to you
That
guys,
has to be built in.
hold on, B. I got a question for you. So my question to you guys: are you willing to give that woman that level of full self-disclosure and take that intimacy mentally and emotionally on that level during this time right now? That's the question that you got to ask yourself.
During this time right now?
During this time, are you
Right.
ready to sit here and say, hey, listen, I'm ready to build emotional bonds on this level right here, give them a certain level of intimacy, and give them a certain level of self-disclosure.
So-
You got to.
So ultimately, what you're saying is, in a time in which we're all extremely physically vulnerable, right? Are you willing to let your emotional guards down so far, right, to where it could shout out to her, right? It could cause damage. It could cause damage. So you guys, that's the decision you have to make in the time frame in which millions of people are dying, right? And you have to almost ask yourself, like, is the fairy tale out there? Like, do I keep pushing this thing off because it don't feel like the fairy tale, or do you take the leap and make the sacrifice and say, okay, listen, let me let all the walls down. You know what I'm saying? Let me let all the walls down and find out if this is actually something that can work.
I would say, nah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Part
I
of
knew
it.
you were gonna say that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
The Charlemagne of the group.
You know, and the reason why I say that is because we about to be back outside.
In 2022.
In 2022, but we about to be back outside. And so people are changing. People seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and the urgency is not there.
But
And
there's
so-
also
But forget about them, but we're asking about him. Are you?
But here's what I'm saying. Here's the other part. There's a vital part of growth that people who are not in relationships are missing out on too, right? Like, there's some growth in this.
Yeah.
And this process of being confined with another individual, right?
No, you're gonna learn
There's
this.
growth in yourself, and there's an opportunity to teach someone else when you're talking about in this environment, right? So, Bird, are you willing to let the walls down?
Me personally, brother, I think you guys already know where I stand as far as
course.
what it is that I've put in and what I've invested. So when it comes down to me and DA is still looking for an investment.
Ooh.
Okay, so you have to understand that when you're still looking for an investment, you're going to try out a few different stocks to see which one goes up. You understand what I'm saying? And that's respected. I've already invested. You understand? So since I've already invested, I'm on a different level to when it comes to am I willing.
So you're matriculating towards where I was.
No, well, see, this is the difference because I was sitting down and I was talking to my lady about two things, and one had to do with ready and one had to do with willing. And we were asking, who's the better person, the person who's ready or the person who's willing? Dave right now is at a position in which he feels like he's ready for whatever woman that may come his way. But Dave isn't willing to do, he just said, a lot for a woman that may come his way. I'm willing, and I've already done the willingness of what it is that's come my way. So I'm no longer in a point of readiness because I've never been that ready person. I've never been the person that's just ready, go ham to do it. I've had to matriculate through this process in order for me to get it done. But I've always been willing. Made some mistakes along the way, but always been willing to correct.
Okay.
Always been a person that's willing to go the extra mile and always been willing to take constructive criticism.
Okay.
You know
That's
what I
fair.
mean? So I think that you have to sit down and look at the place of where you are with a woman. And if you're, like I said, trying to make an investment, or if you're still out there fishing for different stocks right now, you know?
And listen, you may not be worth the investment to her.
Absolutely.
Right? And so this is what I'm saying. Like I know a few people who listen, I got some people texting me, but y'all jokers ain't weighing in on Facebook.
Hey, y'all get on
Weighing in
Facebook.
on
man.
Y'all texting me live. Stop texting me, man.
Yeah, like,
You
way
know
on
I'm busy
Facebook.
right now.
You
Don't
need
call
that
me when
love.
I'm at work. Don't text me when I'm at work, man. Text me on Facebook so we can weigh in on this. We're going to go take a break. We're going to pay some bills. We're going to come back to this.
Yes, sir.
Because, I want some women to weigh in on...
I want the ladies to weigh in.
What girl like to be coming on every week?
Was it Jesse? Was it Jesse?
Jesse, where you at, Jesse? Weigh in.
Shout out to
Jesse, I'm about to hit you up on the phone.
Now I really want the women to speak on this because I know they're gonna say something, and I'm already predicting what they're gonna say, and I'm ready, and so I just want y'all to say something.
He speaks for himself, bro. Like,
hey, Jesse. Hey, hold on. Jesse says she's here. So Jesse, she just Facebooked.
Okay,
Jesse,
that's what's up.
Weigh in on this topic, please, in the comments.
We're gonna take a break, and we're gonna come back and give y'all about 10 more minutes of this.
And keep it real.
Weigh in right now. I want the females to weigh in right now. We're gonna go to break. We're gonna come right back, and we're gonna just touch up on this really briefly before we move on to the next topic. Man, look, take us out, Mr. Daily Insight.
I got you. Better living. All right. My niggas full-time trappers. My niggas full-time trappers. Hey, run that shit up, Chase. My niggas full-time trappers. My niggas full-time trappers. You niggas hustling backwards. You niggas hustling backwards. Overnight shift, that's faster. Overnight shift, that's faster. My niggas keep that Packers. My niggas keep that Packers. You know the trap do backflips. You know the trap do backflips. My niggas full-time trappers. My niggas full-time trappers. You niggas hustling backwards. Overnight shift, that's faster. My niggas keep that Packers. You know the trap do backflips. You guys want a pound or better? They coming straight in from Cali. You know that. Pull up and shop. Ain't no standing on the corner. You know that we having. Ain't no talking about prices on the phone. You know they be tapping. I'm trying to get me some money and stay out the way. I cannot take no loss. Overnight shift is faster. Soon as they land, it's Casper. You can smell it through the vacuum. I hear a knock on the door. It's surveillance in the trap. I just sold to him for 23. That's 4,600. Don't play with me. I got that cutter that mini me. I had to get off my ass and go get me some money, cause shit can get ugly. I got them racks, they got that pack. These niggas halfway hustling. I pour a deuce in the Minute Maid. You niggas hating we up. They say the rappers a cover up. I told them the trap doing double dutch. My niggas full-time trappers. My niggas full-time trappers. You niggas hustling backwards. You niggas hustling backwards. Overnight shift, that's faster. Overnight shift, that's faster. My niggas keep that Packers. My niggas keep that Packers. You know the trap do backflips. You know the trap do backflips. My niggas full-time trappers. My niggas full-time trappers. You niggas hustling backwards. Overnight shift, that's faster. My niggas keep that Packers. You know the trap do backflips. My niggas lit and we winning. I'm steady blowing on spinach. I might just go shop with Fendi. You know that. I just came home doing a sentence. You cannot blemish my image. I'm getting this bag, I'm chasing this cash. You know I'm a young nigga winning. Better living is a business. I count it up with my niggas. We serving pack after pack. We serving back to back. We counting racks on racks. The trap be jumping the butter rim. The competition, we ain't none of them. I don't see nobody, none of them. I'm from the trenches, the jungle gym. He can keep hating, I don't fuck with him. I fuck with trappers and scammers. My niggas swipe up a beamer. We been there swiping in Neiman's. 1,300 for some sneakers. Ain't nothing I do is cheap. You gotta pay me to speak. You know that. I am the topic. You need to stop it. My niggas full-time trappers. My niggas full-time trappers. You niggas hustling backwards. You niggas hustling backwards. Overnight shift, that's faster. Overnight shift, that's faster. My niggas keep that Packers. My niggas keep that Packers. You know the trap do backflips. You know the trap do backflips. My niggas full-time trappers. My niggas full-time trappers. You niggas hustling backwards. Overnight shift, that's faster. My niggas keep that Packers. You know the trap do backflips. We already know we out here trying to chase a check, man. So, you ain't the same to me. I'm gonna get to you like that. Yeah. What's gon' forever thug it in these trenches? Tryna get bricks, tryna pull up in Benzes. Back in the day, they was calling my name. That shepherd told me I ain't understand. That was my daddy best friend. He told me, she told me, streets told me, God had a plan. Don't put your trust in no man. You go as far as you can. All of them long nights, no sleep, no weed. Bag up, run streets. You get your bags up, get your tags up. You can buy a boo fair weed. All of you niggas be creep. Ain't no been friend to me. I'ma look out for my people, even if it's all illegal. I'm at a house that I leave cold. I couldn't see through the people. You gotta know that the streets cold. You gotta know it's a screen code. I still be cocking my grill. Keep that shit on my side. Don't you get shot in your eyes, cause you keep running your mouth. You ain't the same to me. That shit you claim to be. Really you lame to me. Do this for fame for free. That's why you keep looking at a nigga sideways. When you pass a nigga on the highway, got some shooters killing nigga pride days. I don't think you really wanna try me. You count, and all that shit just rap. It's puss all over the map, yeah. It's puss all over the map, yeah. You ain't the same to me. That shit you claim to be, bro. Really you ain't to me. You count, and all that shit just rap. It's puss all over the map, yeah. It's puss all over the map, yeah. You ain't the same to me. That shit you claim to be, bro. Really you ain't to me. We came a long way from broke. 2016, I got caught at a go. All of the gas we smoke. You want this shit to come get it and go. I never had to do time on the road. But if I had to bet, I never fold. I remember I never told. Who good as shit hit a me go for gold. If I did some bitch and I never told. We came along. If I did some bitch and I never told. All that we wanted was change. And I can tell if you had in your plate. I can see the shit all in your face. You count, and all that shit just rap. It's puss all over the map, yeah. It's puss all over the map, yeah. You ain't the same to me. That shit you claim to be. You count, and all that shit just rap. It's puss all over the map, yeah. It's puss all over the map, yeah. You ain't the same to me. That shit you claim to be. Really you ain't to me, bro. Why you looking at a nigga sideways when you pass a nigga on the highway? I don't think you really wanna try to do it. I don't think you really wanna try to do it. You care, and all that shit you ride. Over the mile, yeah, all over the mile. Nigga, you claim to be, nigga, you claim to be, bro.
We back. All right, so we are back. Listen, we wanted to actually come back to the topic about COVID romance, but like honestly, I'm a little hurt. Y'all didn't give us no feedback on Facebook Live, man. So here's what I would say, right? Just because we don't ever want to leave anything unresolved, right? So let's just keep it a buck and just say, I think what we didn't do was we didn't stand on something before we went to break because we thought we was going to come back and have a little bit more engagement. Okay. Considering we didn't get the engagement, at least what we could do is go around and kind of stand on something, which is, for me personally, I would say COVID has definitely been a gift and a curse when it comes to relationships for me. It's actually ended some from a friendship standpoint as well. Absolutely. Right? So it's ended some friendships and some relationships, and it's actually strengthened. It's actually strengthened a lot of relationships. Listen, shout out to Jesse Nicole, who's actually in the chat. Mr. Daily Insight, thank you for letting me know. So Jesse Nicole talks about how the fact, like, she's married, and she says her husband works from home. So 100% of the time, you know what I'm saying, he's at the crib, right? So she was like, I need to work. She was like, I need to go to work for my sanity. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, despite the fact that I love the shit out of my husband, it's hard to be around somebody all the time.
Yeah, you don't realize how much.
Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, bro, it's been truly a test and a testament. Like, but it depends on the lenses that we choose to want to look at life through. And that's what COVID is to me, right? COVID is an opportunity to look at life through multiple sets of lenses. I'm just a positive individual. I want to see things positively because negativity drains too much of my energy. So at the end of the day, COVID has been a blessing. It's actually made me, I think, a better person, a better husband, a better father. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, when you're around somebody all the time, jokers is on some, like, they'll call you out. Like, normally when they'll let something go, because they can leave and go away, they going to call you out on it during COVID. Because, like, you know what? I'm sick of your shit, Bird. Right? Let me tell you about yourself.
Right.
And so, listen, like I said before, and I've said it a million times, listen, I'm all for getting cut, baby. But one thing that I stand on is that COVID has been a blessing, and it's been a gift and a curse for relationships. But I can tell you this, if you committed to being in one, it'll work. Like, COVID is not, and it's not a situation in which it makes being in a relationship impossible. It actually has been a blessing for me more than it's been a curse. So, from a relationship standpoint, because me and my wife have gotten closer, me and my wife have had an opportunity to get to know each other all over again. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you need to last for 20 years. Like, I know some things about my wife now that I didn't know prior to COVID. And because we weren't having certain conversations, because it was like it was predetermined, pre-selected, like, nah, I only want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. Right? But now, like, it's like everything's on the table. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Everything's on the table because you're around each other so much. You can't not talk. So for me, COVID has been a gift and a curse, but it's been more of a blessing than anything else. So blessings over burden for me when it comes to COVID relationships, and I stand on that. Bird, what you stand on? Give me your one-liner. For me, it's blessings over burden, and that's how COVID has impacted relationships for me. Right? So is it blessings over burden or burden over blessings for you?
To me, it's definitely blessings over burden, but finding peace in the midst of turmoil.
Elaborate.
Meaning that just like how Jess said that you can be in a place with someone that you love and still need your own space, that turmoil may not be building because of the other person. It can truly be building because of you. But if you let that person be the peace in which you find, then that kind of decreases the turmoil in which you have in you. So as you let a person, as your other, be your peace, I think that can decrease your turmoil.
For me, it would be know who you are and be that. Like, know who you are and be that. Because COVID was a reflection, right? It was an opportunity for us to reflect. It was an opportunity for us to reinvestigate, re-explore, you know.
Blessing or a curse, though, brother.
No
relationship standpoint.
Oh, I mean, but that's what I mean. But it's like it's both, right? Because you might find because the truth might bless some people and it might curse some people. For you. Well, no, but I'm talking about for everyone, you know. And that's what I'm saying, like, because not a lot of people, like, a lot of people haven't, you know, learned to live with their truth in the way that the pandemic forced them to live with their truth, because there was there was a vulnerability that was outside of your control. You know what I'm saying? And we went back to basic instincts.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so when we're going back to basic instincts, so my last line is that you got to get to know who you are and be that person.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Be that person that you know who you are.
You. Okay.
Okay. Blessings or burden, Brother Blake?
I don't see it that way. I don't see it as either a blessing or a burden. I just see it from the standpoint of the believer will remain a believer. If you believe in the foundation of the relationship that you have and you think it's worth it, you're gonna keep believing. You're gonna find different ways to reinvent, to rediscover,
But-
to rebuild.
But here's what I'm asking.
And that's a blessing if you, okay, that's a blessing.
Has COVID made it easier or harder for you in your relationship?
Easier. I like to talk.
Yeah.
I like to talk. I like to have fun.
Yeah.
I like to get creative. I like to find, like, there's no difference
Yeah.
from being in the class, whether it was the classroom, whether it's on the football field, such and such. You're going to get constructive criticism if you want to get better.
Let me ask you a question.
Hold on, let me finish my thought. You're going to get constructive criticism. I don't know no great player, when I say player, I mean player, you mean work or whatever, has not been able to take constructive criticism and take that and keep moving forward.
Absolutely.
That's growth.
Absolutely.
Right.
That's growth. So even when it comes to our very own relationships where you're trying to expound on the emotional bonds that you've created with this individual, my wife tell me things about myself right now that she's like, you bougie as hell. Because I want my wild caught fish all the time. You know, I'm just giving you an example. You know what I mean? But at the same time, what I'm saying is I'm taking the time out to take the constructive criticism, take it in a positive light, and remain optimistic, remain faithful, remain focused on getting better one day at a time. So I can get to the 20 years. So I can get to the 33 years. Inshallah.
So shout out to Sierra.
Sierra, yeah,
Shout
I just
out to
see your
Sierra,
post.
right?
I see you.
So Sierra says, listen, I grew up in Islam where courting was what we did.
Allahu
She
Akbar.
said, I'm seeing-
Assalamu alaikum.
I'm seeing more of that even if the term isn't being used, right?
What?
More people are courting and dating now than they ever have.
Thank you,
before.
Sierra.
That's what I was trying
Thank
to get
you,
y'all to
Sierra.
like. Because listen, this vulnerability is forcing people to want to get close to somebody.
Yes.
And what I was speaking on with the kill, you know what I mean? Like you said, if you're a believer, that you're a believer. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you just keep believing. But I think everybody that has a belief, speaking from whatever it is that you believe, it's been tested.
Yeah.
It's been tested, and that was the question. You know what I mean? Like in this time when your belief is tested, you know, does it make it stronger for you to hold on to that belief? You know what I mean? Or does it make
Absolutely.
it easier for you to hold on to that belief due to the fact that, like you said, you're just a believer, and if you believe, you believe.
Well, but then again, it goes right back to what I was saying. Full self-disclosure, intimacy on a mental, emotional, spiritual level, and whether you want to call physical, but that's on the later aspect of it, and emotional bonds. Those are three pillars of having a relationship, whether you want to be in it or not. And if you're going to believe, you have to be optimistic. You have to meet positive energy. If you're going to be a believer is someone that's very optimistic. They can see, okay, look, this situation may be not right now, but it's going to get one day better.
Okay, so like what Sierra said, we spoke about this on the last podcast too, by the way.
Assalamu alaikum, Sierra.
As far as the courting, you know what I mean? Because
She already weighed in with Alaikum Salam.
Okay.
We were speaking on your behalf, and I asked that same thing because I asked you, you know, and this was off air. I asked you, I said, brother, like, what's the difference? You know what I mean? And you told me that there's a direct difference, and I asked you, like, when you were courting your wife, did you not do any dating?
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean?
What's the
No.
difference?
When I was courting my wife, did I do any dating? Hell no, I didn't do any dating. You talking about dating as in the aspect of seeing other women, or dating as far as going out, spending intimate time going out?
With
Is
that
there
one
a
person.
difference?
Yeah, it's a big difference.
For me, it's not.
Hold on. If y'all don't mind, Gates, you out there on Facebook? You talking about Cap? What's Cap, bro? What's Cap? First of all, we grown.
Man,
First of all, we grown. So we say fedora around these parts. But tell us what fedora is, bro. Tell us who lying, bro. Who capping? Just I want you to weigh in on that. And then I also want to just say real quick because listen, Stacy's out here on Facebook Live. And Stacy said, listen, the pandemic has given everyone time to sit and think about what they really want out of life, physically, financially, spiritually, etc. Sadly, some of those ended relationships didn't prosper through that because people's goals wasn't adding up correctly. Like, he might have wanted one thing, she wanted another, and given time to really think about those things, they got a chance to see that compatibility really isn't there. So that's what I'm talking about from a female perspective, because I know that a lot of females are using this as an opportunity, like, okay, who's my sixth man? Like, who's my one, my two, my three, like, don't think women ain't got a rotation. Absolutely. If you think women ain't got a rotation, you sleep. But I just want to say this. So, because I want to show Facebook love too. So, listen, Stacy, you out there, and I get what you saying. This is the thing. What they saying is, at the end of the day, that this is giving them a chance to kind of figure out who belongs where, as far as the importance in life, right? So, Gates, I'm waiting on you to tell me what was cap.
All right.
But Bird, we back to you.
Yeah.
Bro.
So you mean when you say dating, what do you mean? Dating as far as other women, or dating as far as spending time with this one individual?
Spending time. That's
okay. So just like what David said, you know what I mean? Tell me so the question that I asked you was, when you were courting your wife.
Okay, that's big difference. You said dating first. You said
no,
when you were.
I didn't say when you were
Did you
dating
just
your
say
wife.
dating?
I said when you were courting your wife, were you dating?
I was not dating.
And that was my question.
Okay.
I didn't say anything.
I was not dating
to that. Okay.
Because you can't court. Well, never mind.
So just real quick,
right?
So and listen, Sierra says courtship is a manner of taking one to court. Two people going in with the intention of marriage. She says if there is no physical intimacy, physical intimacy is like a drug that can cause clouded judgment.
Alhamdulillah.
Right? So if you're courting, you ain't dating. That's what Sierra's trying to say, right? If you're courting, then you ain't dating.
You ain't dating.
Meaning not seeing another woman, not spending time with another woman. Because I'm asking, what's the difference?
That's what it was saying.
The difference is,
according
in my
to her,
opinion, the difference between courtship and dating is exclusivity.
Absolutely.
We talked about that.
That's the biggest thing, because if you can't be exclusive in dating someone, because you're checking them out, you're testing them out. Exclusive means at that point you can go out on dates. But exclusive means now we on a road towards marriage. That's what exclusivity.
You can't definitely be exclusive in dating, though.
No, because then now y'all courting. You're in the courting part now.
No,
you're courting at that
I'm
point.
telling you that you like it's a matter.
Courting mean like you.
No,
you,
it's
you,
a matter of choice. Not everybody's
going
gonna want to date 5 women, bro. So what I'm saying is there are people out there that may date one person,
but you're not exclusive to that one person, though.
If you choose to be, then you are.
But that's not. Is that really dating, or is it really courting?
That's courting,
bro. That's where the confusion comes in,
bro. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. It's extremely
dating
subjective.
Mean like it's touching goals.
It's extremely subjective. Dating means whatever it
courting
means.
Like, yo, we trying to get married.
That's the goal.
How many people walk around?
Yeah, because you're exclusive.
Okay, so
narrow down.
So what I'm saying is, when you go to for example,
that's why
Blake, before you got married, how many times did you go to an event or anything and say, "Yeah, I'm courting somebody"?
All the fucking time.
You said you're courting?
Yeah, hell yeah. For what? Hell yeah. Because you got
he built different.
Did you say courting or dating?
I said courting.
He built different.
What?
Yeah.
You better, man. First
how many
of all,
times before
hold on. First of all,
I just asked one question.
Wait.
I'm
finna let you know. I'm finna
give
you my thoughts.
You already got your thoughts.
Okay, but what I'm saying, it was
now it sounds like you're trying to change your thoughts. That's what it sounds like.
Get the hell out of here, B. You fucking tripping, B. I'm telling you what it is. You asked the question. I'm telling you, it was courting. Period.
So that's the
not even up for debate. That's what it was.
What is courting?
Okay,
so
his why?
First of all,
I don't understand why you're so emphatic right now.
No, because you asked me a question like you didn't even know the answer. I said this last time. Go check episode from before.
Built different. You don't understand that? You built different.
All right.
Fuck with me, D8. Fuck with me, bro.
Next question. I don't know where you're going with
Yo, first of all, give it up for sexual chocolate. Fucking Mike Brown. Sexual chocolate. Fucking Randy Watson in the house, y'all. Fuck out of here, bro. So all I'm trying to do is I'm just asking. So before you got married, did you ever tell somebody you were courting, or was it just always like, yo, now I'm dating somebody, I'm taking them serious?
Dating, just we chill.
I mean, how many people actually use the word courtship? Is what I'm saying.
I use it like that.
It's hold on, bro.
Yeah.
One mic.
Go ahead.
So what you mean?
So it's a thing where, all right, having a conversation. All right, you think you cute, whatever. Let me see what you about. You go on a few dates. You kind of figure out what they about, and then after a certain point, you already know what category you're putting them in. You're putting them in you marriage material, or I'm just gonna be shown in with you. Either one or the other. One or the other. You know, for the most part, us men and us women know when we having these when we dating or courting or whatever, we already know. Oh, he's just gonna be my shown, or I think he marriage material. I'm gonna get back with him 2 years, 3 years later down the road.
So
you know what I mean?
Can I ask you?
Please,
this?
I want this. Bring it.
With that being said, right. This is my question when it comes to courting.
He talking about he definitely didn't say okay.
This is my question when it comes to courting.
Correct.
When does the courting start? Can you be dating that same woman that you want to court and be dating other women and see that this woman is the one in which you want to take seriously, and then that courting starts? Because the question that I'm asking in general is that when you're courting a woman, is that woman exclusively your woman that you're courting, or have you chosen that woman out of women that you were dating to court specifically?
And listen, so Sierra keeps weighing in from a cultural standpoint, right? Which I appreciate, Sierra, because what you're actually doing is being a very good translator for other people who may not be familiar with Islam.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because even though, and so I also know that also means that you have an understanding, a different level of understanding as to what Blake is talking about. Right. So here's what I know, right? Sierra says courtship is always done with a chaperone to keep within the restrictive laws, right? And so that is more of in Islam, right? Which is what she's referring to, which that may be the values in which you stand on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is what seems to be more common, right, is not necessarily that someone's going to say, yo, I'm out here. No, listen, I'm actually courting this young lady, right? Bird, I don't you seem like a smooth brother. Like Gates is out here definitely didn't say courting, right? And listen, I'm not gonna question your
shout out to Gates.
I'm not gonna question your integrity, brother, because I know you probably are that dude.
Yeah, I am that dude.
You probably are that dude.
I am that dude.
Bird, would you ever be in an environment where you'd be like, yes, no, me and this young lady are courting?
Bro, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never used the like she said in that context. I think it is more cultural because not only have I not used it, I don't think that others at this table outside of my brother Akil here has used that word seriously. Like I'm courting, you know what I mean?
Right.
And to be
everybody's dating it right now. It's just a matter of whether you exclusive or not.
Right. Like from a serious standpoint, because I think there's a difference. Like in Dave's view, I can speak from me knowing Dave, but not speaking from his point. Yeah. But from my view of Dave, if he's dating, that means that he's, like he said, not exclusive. He's dating a few individuals to see which one he will want to go further with, right? When it comes to the courting situation that I was talking about, if you're sitting down and you're dating, right? Dating can be exclusive because you don't have to be dating different individuals like you just spoke about. You can be dating one person and seeing if you want to sit down and take that individual on a different level. Like if you want to give her a key to your crib. If you want to sit down and you want to say, all right, you can leave your toothbrush over here. Or we can move in. Like it's a different type of relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because when you dating different women, you're not about to have 5 toothbrushes at your crib.
No.
You're not going to do that.
But
bro.
you still be.
Hold on. We got a Facebook
response.
comment for Jordan, right? So Stacy says, exactly, Jordan. That's what I'm trying to figure out because considering the meaning, I have courted and it's ended terribly. I would say I wouldn't court again if it means right out the gate. Like, can we be dating first? Then I get to choose the guy I want to court with after he has proven himself.
Yeah, exactly. That's how. Because you understand, because we don't use it normally, doesn't mean because what you're talking about within Islam and in certain aspects of Christianity is formal courtship.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm speaking to informal courtship, meaning that we don't have no chaperone, we don't have no minister, we don't have people in our family guiding us to the altar.
Right.
It's just that now we've zeroed in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you go from dating to courtship to engagement to marriage. You know what I'm saying? You're driving it home. So just like what Bird said, I'm not going to have 5 sets of keys floating outside.
Absolutely.
Major key alert.
You get what I'm saying? Because at that point, I'm only making another pair. One other pair. And if that relationship ends, because we're informal, so we're not going to use courtship, so when that relationship ends, give me my keys back.
No, listen. 2 claps in the Ric Flair for the give me my keys back. 2 claps in the Ric Flair. 1, 2. Woo! If that ends, bro, give me my keys back. Okay.
But I also want I also want to chime in what you guys said, right? So I'm gonna use me for example. And this probably gonna give you a little bit more detail, right? So growing up in a single household.
Speaking from Islam,
I'm gonna bring it full circle. Growing up in a single household, where my mother was my superwoman and everything, just like so many other
mother and father.
No, yeah.
Your mother was your father.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so, especially since I had my son at an early age, I made a commitment to myself and a commitment to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. Like the next time. I have to respect the fact that that's somebody's daughter, that's somebody's sister,
somebody's mother,
that's the possibility of somebody else's wife or whatever the case may be. So I kind of went in with a different mindset. I'm gonna be honest with you, probably about the age of about 28. I'm gonna keep it a buck, meaning that okay, for real, like when I'm taking it to the next level, I'm only trying to find women that's trying to be courted right now. I'm not trying to find women that's trying to date. Because 1, I'm already black. 2, I'm already Muslim. 3, at the same time, brothers want to go look at the girls just because they look like they from Arab or whatever the case may be. No, I love my black Islamic women too.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? And so for me, I want somebody that look like my mother. I'm going to respect the fact that she's a woman. And I'm not going to sit here and allow my emotions, or in Islam we call it nafs, to get in the way of the bigger picture. So I looked at it from a different perspective. Okay, you know what? When I'm trying to get myself in the, I guarantee you, I ain't trying to. I'm trying to get married. So guess what? I'm trying to find a woman that's trying to get courted. Like she knowingly know that she ain't trying to play no games out here. And I don't know if that. Well, I don't know. I know it's directly tied to my religious belief. You know what I'm saying? So I just think my perspective on it was because 1, I had my son early. 2, I looked at my mother as my example. 3, I didn't want to be nothing like my father. Period. Because I feel like all he did was straight up disrespect women, and I stand on that. Okay. So I'm gonna be different.
G,
nah,
you about to
listen because I'm gonna be honest with you.
I saw it.
Like I'm here, and I'm with all the shits on this one, y'all. Yeah. So here's the reality. So shout out to Sierra, right? So she agrees with you heavily, Monster Blake. But here's what Sierra made a comment. She was like, "That's why we need to be more involved in our grandparents' lives."
Yeah,
like we need to make sure our kids, we need to have grandparents being involved in our kids' lives because your grandparents are going to have conversations with your kids. I remember my granddaddy telling me, boy, listen, you better put something on that stick, boy, before you go stick. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So don't want to bring nothing back. But it's conversations you have with your grandparents, right? That you ain't having with your friends or that you ain't having with your parents.
Wait, what?
It's a different kind of conversation. But hold on.
I'm gonna give you credit.
But even on top of that, there's certain other conversations that we gotta have. Because one thing that we also haven't talked about at all, right? And I'm gonna just pass the daily insight. So first, I want you to talk to me just real briefly on the importance of grandparents, right? Like, are we losing that?
Yes, we are. And me being, my mom, she worked and tried, 3 kids, single mom. Basically, her hand was forced. Like, the grandparents were behind me, dad, aunties, aunts, everybody. So essentially, from birth, I was raised by my grandparents, and I understand the importance. They basically sowed a whole bunch of seeds: hard work, dedication, and respect. You understand? These kids nowadays are not growing up with their grandparents, and they're not learning respect, hard work, and nothing is basically going to be given to you.
We lost Big Mama.
Correct. So I think that's a loss. That's lost in today's generation. They think everything should be given to them. That's just my opinion on that. To be honest, okay.
So I want to ask you.
Yeah,
I want to ask you because I know Gates already put it in.
Yeah, he did.
So listen, are you Are you taking your relationship from dating to courtship, or from courtship to engagement, or from engagement to marriage? At what stage is it that you have to physically be intimate with your counterpart? You know what I'm saying? So we talking about the transition of phases, right? From dating to courtship and exclusivity to then engagement to then marriage, right? Mm-hmm. So just from a differing perspective, I want to know, at what point in time does sex fit in the crease?
Intimacy. Let's say intimacy. We don't want to use the word sex. Let's use intimacy.
Oh, listen, I stand on that.
I understand, though. I just like the word. Whatever. We dressing it up. But anyway, so I think this is
whipped cream on the pile of shit. It's still gonna stink. You put whipped cream on the pile of shit, it's still gonna stink. But go ahead.
Let's go.
All right. So I think this is twofold, right? I think it depends on the woman and the man. You understand? And I think the women set the precedent when it comes to intimacy. To be honest, so for example, if a woman allows me, right? Let's say we go on a date 1, date 2, date 3, right? And I can smash on the first and second and third date. That's on the woman for the most part.
Of course.
Wow.
Listen. Hold on. Listen.
Okay. I want you to
say
know
nothing crazy.
No.
Okay.
But I want you to know. So Gates just put two things in there, right?
Okay.
And Gates said, first of all, the box has to be checked prior to.
He ain't got no self-control.
Right?
Hold on. Wait. I got a second part to that. Hold on.
Listen, we got to let Daily Insight finish. Okay. But I just wanted to, because I know that he's getting comments, and I want to make sure he addresses. The box has to be checked prior to. And listen, here's the thing, right? And this is what I was trying to say very clearly. Sex and intimacy, this has been reiterated by more than one person. Sex and intimacy are two different things.
Yep.
Right? And so we talking about, initially when Gates put in there, we was talking about the box being checked. So it wasn't about intimacy. Intimacy is holding hands, going to the movies. Mm-hmm. Intimacy is watching Netflix and laying my head on your stomach.
And rub it on your booty.
Rub it on your booty. Yeah, shout out to Kels in the penitentiary. Yeah. Wow. So listen, anyways, we ain't pissing on nobody. We moving forward from that.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, so we talking about, I want to make it very clear. I'm talking about sex. I'm not talking about intimacy, because you should be intimate at all times in your relationship.
Correct.
So we talking about sex. When is sex injected into the crease of the transition? Is it from dating to courting? Is it from courting to engagement? Is it from engagement to marriage? Or is it after marriage?
Okay, again, it depends on the woman. So, for example, if a woman, and I said it's twofold. So, if a woman says, you know what, I'm not going to give you the box until you checked off a few of these boxes. Courting, taking me on dates, whatever it may be. She may say, you know what, yeah, I'm going to give it to you, but I'm going to wait until I let you have it. You understand? So I think for that, it depends on the woman sets the foundation at the end of the day, in my opinion.
So Gates says it's from dating to courting. I got to check the box prior to me being exclusive to you.
I'm gonna let
for me, no. No.
Whoa, say that again.
Oh, listen. I want to be able to check the box. Yes, I agree with that. I agree, because if you get in a marriage, right, and the box is terrible, then you're kind of stuck in that situation. You know what I mean? In my opinion, you're just stuck there.
You ain't never stuck.
Well, we get it, but if you're going to go further and you're going to spend all this money and do, you're
if you're going to continue your investment,
if you're going to continue your investment, you want to know that.
But you and I both know you can get a marriage annulled within the first year. Like it never happened.
Right.
So you got a whole year to check the box.
But why?
I'm just shouting it out there to my own school Christians,
was for more
to
than
my own
a year,
school
so it's really hard to
values.
untangle.
But why go through all that if you can kind of, as Mr. Gates said, check the box before the actual, that last chapter, as I would say. But initially, to answer the question, I think the woman sets that precedent. But if there are some cases where the woman has allowed the individual to basically check off that box in the first or second date, and they got married.
So let me.
You understand?
Let me come from this point of view, though.
Yeah, flip it on.
Give us the bird's eye view.
Okay.
You got some men that definitely want to check the box, right? But then you're going to be dealing with some women that's definitely experienced who gonna want to check your dick.
Bird.
And
can you? But listen, because I think if it ain't me, it's got to be you. I don't trust nobody else to explain what checking the box means. Can you give us a PG version of what checking the box means? Because I don't know if everybody understands that.
On both sides.
Well, this is my thing. Like, if you checking the box, that means that you're trying to see if that this woman meets your level of sex. If she has the things in which you desire, right? Okay. But I think what some men fail to realize is that you being checked too.
Yeah,
it's not just
the package.
Absolutely. Like,
real talk.
It's not a one-way check. You think that a woman want to wait 2 years to find out that you got a 2-inch penis?
No, hell no. She
like, that's not the game, bro.
No,
like, it has
talk.
nothing to do with control or none of that. I'm investing years in you.
Yeah,
and if I'm about to invest 365 days times 10, I want to know what's in there.
Yeah, bro.
Straight up. Like, if you're sitting down and you're telling me, listen, you as a woman, you don't give oral sex, I need to know that now. Because me as a man, I like oral sex. So if you don't give that, that's a box that I won't even be checking. But that's real, because vice versa, if you're a man that doesn't give oral sex, she's probably telling you, you can't check this box. It's just that simple.
So you would literally, let's say
Talk to me.
Let's say you have a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you have a woman who has strong faith. Very similar to yours, right? Let's say you have a woman that your mother approves of.
Absolutely.
Right? Let's say you have a woman with a great job.
Absolutely.
Let's say you have a woman who's willing to
hustle.
Like, listen, everything you want. But she says, "Oh, I don't suck dick."
Talk to me. What are you telling me?
Are you saying that she is immediately off the board?
I'm going to be very honest with you.
For me, yes.
Please do.
I would have found out that she didn't suck dick before she was a woman for my mother. I would have found that out a long time ago.
Facts.
Like, before we did all of that other shit, I would have found out that this woman does not suck dick. So right then and there, it's like, now I have to play this a certain way. Do I want to play this in a way in which I continue this relationship due to the fact that she doesn't do something in which, in my eyes, I think is very common in sex in the generation that I grew up in? It's common, like sucking dick and eating the woman's. Yeah, it's common. You know what I mean? It's common, bro. Like, back in like the 1999s, coming to the 2000s, juvenile, I don't eat no pussy. Okay, that's cool. You feel what I'm saying? 2000 to 2021, you're eating it. You're in it.
It's facts.
You're in it. So if you're asking me, would I have treated the relationship differently? Of course. That's just me. But she would have treated me differently. Like I said, if she asked me, hey, listen, 2 questions. Number 1, do you have a small penis? Most men, if that question was asked and you had to answer truthfully, you don't think you got a small penis, so you're going to say no. If she says, hey, listen, do you eat box? If you don't and you say no, she's using her other options because she got somebody that's going to eat the box. All right, what I'm saying? Like, it's just that simple.
They're on speed dial. At least 5 or 10 of them.
It's just that simple, bro.
Yes.
Like, the bedroom is something that is a stress reliever, bro.
But there's a lot of things that are common in 2021 that
it wasn't common back then.
It wasn't common back then.
But it's the norm. It's the standard package. It's part of the standard. You're supposed to get this when you go to the store. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things in 2021 you already need to be. It's automatic. It's automatic. And you know what? Because things have changed. You know what I'm saying? And so let me just say this. Generally speaking, because we got to understand this. Women control access to sex. That's just a fact. I think now I can give perspective on that within that context, and I'm gonna do this after I make the next statement. But generally speaking, women control access to sex. Men control.
Wait.
I-
Hold
I-
on.
And listen,
Hold on.
Gates made a comment, and this is the perfect time to interject it, right? Which is, he said, "Why should women control it?"
Well, I'm gonna come back. That's why I said I'm gonna make a comment back on the first point.
Okay.
So the first line is,
They definitely control.
women control access to sex,
Absolutely.
right? And men control access to marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's what it is. Because at the end of the day,
Matrix.
everything about what's about to happen for the years ahead is coming out of his pocket.
Yeah.
And so he's gonna be like, well, you got to think about it. All the sacrifices. If you performing as a man, the burden of sacrifices and the burden of performance is going to be on your shoulders. It will.
I don't think so.
Fundamentally, you're
Fundamentally,
fundamentally you're the one when things just collapse. Your job is to take accountability.
Absolutely.
And
No,
say,
nowadays I think that's twofold.
No,
yeah, but
no,
you know what I'm saying?
no.
But just
Fundamentally, bro.
Fundamentally.
I
Even
get
if-
it. Okay,
Even if she
fundamentally.
doesn't take accountability, your homework still says you need to take accountability.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Boss
and
up.
so back to the first point, despite the fact that women control access to sex in the general sense, if men can still decide whether or not they're going to engage with a woman that don't want to get down as soon as they want to get down. Because you still can set your own standard. And so for me, I'm like, yo, bro, we're not going anywhere towards courtship, exclusive relationship, unless we done did the deed. We got to do the deed. Multiple times. We gotta know that when we run this play, it's a touchdown.
Touchdown, boy.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I like that analogy.
You know what I'm saying? It's good. And then you're gonna focus on. You're gonna be like, all right,
The other stuff. You
You're
can
gonna
focus on
other
other
stuff.
stuff. All
You're
right.
gonna focus on the other stuff.
Okay.
And that's where I stand. I stand on that.
Let me ask you this question. And I think this is
Stand on
very
that.
important. Though. Hold
Stacy
up.
say agree.
But hold on, listen. I'm gonna be honest. We just did a whole segment on this, and we doing a whole
Another segment. We did talk about this already.
We gonna keep this moving.
Yeah.
But I want to give everybody a chance to kind
it
of give
going.
a
It's
final
hot,
thought,
bro.
right?
That's real.
I feel like DA kind of gave us what we needed so we could start to move forward. So now, Bird, give us your final thought on just this topic on COVID relationships and just everything as a whole that we've already kind of touched on.
Man, well, I definitely stand on the blessings. You know what I mean? I definitely believe that COVID has brought many a blessing.
Multiple times.
You know, I want to sit down and speak on the fact that when it comes to, like Dave was saying, once you test the box multiple times, you know what I mean? My question, and this would be for another time, is what happens when, as certain men do at times, you get tired of that. Like, what happens when you get tired of that box that you've tested out 30 times? You know what I mean? Like, what do you?
Let me elaborate.
What? And it was strictly to my guy here who wants to test it out 30 times before it's bought. Like, do you still want the same product after you've tested it out 30 times before it was bought?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be with that person longer than the 30 times upon 30 times that y'all will have y'all do the deed.
Okay.
And so at that point, we're talking about once you
Is there a significance to the number 30?
No. It's just
Okay.
But it's just that once
It has to be multiple times.
once we've established that there's sexual compatibility, then that's tucked away. We understand that. Now it's about but that's also happening while we're also assessing general compatibility. From like who each other's energy, who
So
leads.
once you test that one, you don't test another one.
No. Once we test that, you testing. You're verifying the other areas too, because you got to think about ethic. We're thinking about ethic, about how y'all can work together, communication, cooperation. Because you want the best relationship possible.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's at the end of the day, you want to be in the best relationship possible to suit that can benefit both your needs and their needs as well. Because that's going to make it a fruitful relationship down the road. Because what are we trying to do? We're trying to minimize the number of things that would break us apart. You see what I'm saying? You hear me? We're trying to minimize the number of things that that's going to break us apart, and the extent to things will break us apart as well. You know what I'm saying? Because communication won't always be at a 10. But if we can maintain it within an acceptable range, then we're fine. You know what I'm saying? All is well. Then when it creep up and it gets back up to its high, then we be like, yo, life is really good. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want things such as communication to drop down to a 0 or to a 2 or to a 4 or even a 6. You're going to be like, well, something's not right here. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just using the scale of 1 to 10 as just a general example. But the point I'm making is, you want to build the best relationship possible. So for me, I'm not going to get exclusive unless out of all the boxes that I had on the table, that the overwhelming majority of them have been checked off.
Okay, so and here's where we are, right? Because we got people weighing in heavy on this topic, which is, I know people want us to stay on it.
Keep it going.
So I'm trying not to. I'm trying to, but I want to make sure that if that's the case, right? If that's what the people want to talk about, then let's engage them. So
shout out to Stacy, man. Shout out to Stacy.
And Stacy said, "Listen, you got to get it out of the way." We talk about clouded judgment and how sex can cloud your judgment, but she was like, "Listen, what clouds my judgment is not knowing."
Absolutely,
I need to know.
Absolutely, that's a true woman. That's a true woman.
A real one.
That's a true woman.
But I also want to shout out to Sierra, because at the end of the day, she got the realest comment that I've seen so far, which is, what that mind do, though?
That's what I'm talking about.
What
What that mind like?
No,
she said
Blake, sex bomb, but can't build.
I think, man, like maybe. Hey, shout out to Sierra, man, my sister right there, man, because she's Muslim and I'm Muslim, so maybe that's probably why we're seeing eye to eye on this. You know what I mean? Not taking anything away from everybody else. I'm just being very transparent right now.
Absolutely.
I think, man, like, it's all about, everybody's entitled to their own perspective. Period. But I want to know what that mind like. Listen, I'll tell you straight. I'll tell women straight. I used to, back in the day, bitch, I'm royal. My penis is royal. You think it's less of me and more of you? You know what the matter? When you get me, you get my energy. You get you get so much of it. I ain't got time to be giving that to any woman at any given time just to be testing it out. Hell no. Hell no.
So can I ask you a question?
But no. Hear me out.
I'm listening.
Hear me out. What I'm saying is, I want to see what that mind like.
You said that,
right? You get what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? Because I understand the core. I understand the core essence of what I bring to the table. I can't just give my energy, my soulfulness energy to any woman, just to randomly doing it from a negative. Hell no. Hell no.
Okay.
Hell no.
So listen, I want to.
I can't, bro.
Like, and just to kind of chime in on that, right? Because I think each of you individually and I have probably had this conversation about just how my relationship with my wife elevated from day one to year 21, right? And so I remember very explicitly sitting outside of the Veranda Apartments. You know, shout out to Miami Lakes, right? Veranda Apartments on 67th Ave, and I sat outside that apartment with my who is now my wife, and I said to her, I feel you. You're like, there's other dudes out here. That's cool. If you want to be with me, though, you can't tell me whether or not that's going to work if you splitting your energy with all of these other cats. So what you're going to have to do, if you want to date me, is you're going to have to let all them go. If it don't work, you can go back to them. Like, I don't care. But if this is going to work, like, if you're going to get any of my energy, you're going to have to let that go. Because I'm not out here to compete with somebody else for your affection.
Right.
Nobody's saying that.
Either you're going to give me that,
right,
or you're not going to give me that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so I gave my wife, who was not my wife at the time, but I gave my wife kind of an ultimatum, and not from a standpoint of, like, you ain't worth me fighting for,
right,
but, like, I already know what I see in you.
Right.
So what I'm not finna do is allow us to waste our time, spin our wheels in mud. I got that. We got this out the mud, bro. Like, at the end of the day, let's pick up the mud, and this is us. Right? So, I'm just saying, like, for me, right, I told her, cut everybody off if you want to see what it's going to be like with me. Because that's the only way to truly get a real depiction.
But
I'm not, mind you, I'm talking about 20-something years ago. So, maybe I'm old school.
No,
I ain't finished
you
my
don't.
thought.
But,
great. Okay,
Okay.
so with you, we're gonna start off with Mr. Gill, and then I'm gonna go into Brother Gary, right? So let me just ask you. I've seen your wife, brother.
Right.
Wife is beautiful.
Right.
You chose a beautiful woman for a wife, brother.
All praise be to Allah.
When you chose this woman,
Uh-huh.
did you look at this woman?
What do you mean?
Did you look at this woman when you chose her? You're not blind. Did you see her?
Yeah, I saw her.
Okay, when you saw her, what were your interests? What were your
Initially.
Initially.
Initial.
You ain't even spoke to her yet, Kill.
Raw.
You ain't even spoke to her. You
Raw
saw
interest.
her. What were your interests?
I wonder if she
Simple.
I wonder if she gonna lead me to. I wonder if she gonna lead me to a better standard of law. Straight up.
Okay.
Straight up.
Okay.
You can say what you want, but I'm telling you right now.
I'm asking a question. I didn't say
Right.
you did.
I'm telling
did.
you.
That's great.
Right.
Okay, so that was your interest, right?
That was the. Was about
Okay.
was it the second?
Was there a secondary interest?
Yes.
Was it? What do you mean?
What was the second? After you seen, she gonna bring y'all out. What was the second?
What after that?
How deep into the law she is?
Okay, what's
How
the third
deep?
one? What's the third one?
So get straight to the point.
No,
What you're
it's a
trying to ask.
point. What's the third one?
My interest lied on how close she is to Allah. Can she bring me closer to Allah? And at the same time, can we grow together mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually?
At what point does sex factor in, bro?
Or her looks.
Or her looks.
And listen, Sierra just said, P.S. Don't think Muslim women don't enjoy sex. The lie detector says that's a lie.
I never said. What I'm saying is, sex is not the primary focus. Sex is never have and never will be the primary focus. That's what I'm telling you. From my perspective, I stand on that.
I think you're downplaying.
I'm not down.
Attraction.
I'm not downplaying physical attraction, but what I'm saying is, bro, you gotta remember, I had a son when I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
I seen what just chasing pussy get you.
We're not
Hold on, wait. Hear my perspective.
Okay.
Hear my perspective.
Please do, because he
I seen what just. Hey, I done had some of the prettiest girls in America, and I stand on that. Just because she look good, that don't mean her mind good. Just because she look good, that don't mean her spirit good. Just because she look good, that don't mean she's totally vested in making you a better person. Mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Man, I stand on that shit. Straight up. Fuck your pussy. I want your mind. I want your mind.
Ooh.
I want your mind.
Ooh.
What books you read?
So what did it factor at? Number 4?
In fact, it factored in now.
5?
What I'm saying is
Number 79?
No. What I'm saying, hear me out. I need you to really, really feel me out.
I heard you.
But what
I just want you to get to the carnal.
I'm getting to
No. But I feel like if you was listening to what he said, then you wouldn't be asking what number
That's
of
what I'm
priority
saying.
it weighs in.
And I
What he's saying is that, listen, at the end of the day, what God bring together, it ain't about, he ain't worried about that level of compatibility. Because listen, to be honest with you, bro, listen, the first time you had sex, you was trash at it.
Yeah.
Of course.
Right. So what we do know is this. You can get better at sex. You can't get better if your mind ain't right. You can't get better. So what he's saying is, priority wise, fucking sex is not top priority. You can get better at sex. You can make shit work. Dude, there's a lot of people, real talk, that get married and don't have sex. And guess what? You don't miss what you ain't never had. So there are people out here that are truly virgins that are getting married, they find a way to make relationships work. Sex ain't really the driving force in relationships anymore, bro.
And I'm not saying that sex is that never was my point. If sex was a driving force, what I asked about and what I commented on was the woman's beauty, brother. And we can sit down and we can look at things from whatever perspective in which we want. None of us want an ugly woman.
Right.
But wait. I'll let you do yours.
Okay.
Do yours.
Okay.
None of us wants an ugly woman,
right.
Number one. Number two, like Gary said, he told this woman that he wants that woman to be exclusive to him. At that time, he had already chose that woman.
I did the same thing.
Okay. But as a man, and I'm a man that knows the men in which I'm around, okay?
Right.
And as a man, I want to speak on and stand on, when it comes to our women, we love them to death. But we cannot sit down and say that when it comes to the courting and the dating, through that process, brother, that there wasn't any type of interventions with other individuals that led us astray through that time, bro. We cannot. We can't sit down and say that. And I'm not talking about sex. You're talking about, you spoke. You're talking about a woman's mind, brother. Right. And I respect a woman's mind. You're saying mind over pussy. That's what you said.
Right, bro. But you missing my point, bro. You missing my point. You missed my
You're
point.
not even letting me speak.
I hear what you said.
Interjecting
Go
yours
ahead.
one time.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, brother.
When it comes to, you said mind over pussy.
Correct.
And this woman in which you chose.
Right.
But that wasn't your aspect on all of those women up to that woman that you chose.
And
brother.
I said that. Bro. I literally just said I done had some of the best women a man
And
can
what
have.
did you end with? I want your.
And I ended with a Muslim woman that I should have been with from the beginning.
That's not okay. You get what I'm saying?
I don't understand how. I'm telling you how it is, bro. I'm telling you.
Down.
No, but I'm
like
getting
I get what you're saying.
I'm getting
but
passionate.
No, you're not. You're acting like I'm telling you you're wrong.
No.
No.
I'm saying no. I'm saying that if you guys are actively listening to what I'm saying, you won't be asking me these questions.
I mean, we got to
That's
ask
what I'm
you,
saying.
I noticed it
because we know.
Because you're not answering directly.
Like, not at all, bro.
That's what we said. You didn't answer
like
it
at all, bro.
head up. You giving us a speech, but you didn't go head up.
Like what?
You just said when it came down to the carnal, you didn't go head up with it. You just kind of played it to the side.
Played it to the side. Like what are you talking about?
Wait, hold on.
So Stacy just put a question in the Facebook Live. Stacy says, "So you didn't court out the gate?"
Call my wife right now.
No, she's asking.
She asking you.
Call her right now.
She can't.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Call her right now.
But she can't. She literally can't.
Like,
Stacy literally can't. So tell us.
Like, because, all right, I'm with it. I got you. I agree.
No. But what I'm trying to say is, you guys taking it from your perspective and forcing that perspective on me.
No, I just say that we're doing censorship.
Wait. I'm giving you my perspective on how I see things, but yet it's still a problem.
Who said it was a problem?
They asked you a question.
Like, that's it.
Nobody
you don't agree with everything that they say. They don't agree with everything you say. That's
I understand that, but what I'm saying,
what's the point of the opinion, brother?
All right.
The point of the opinion, brother.
Here's what we know.
Come on, man.
Here's what we listen.
He getting defensive now. You getting defensive.
You getting defensive.
All day long getting defensive, bro. Y'all don't understand. What is that? Get the fuck out of here, bro.
I'm not getting defensive. I'm getting.
Call my wife right now. Like what, bro?
You called it.
Listen. So here's what Sierra said. I don't want anyone to answer. She said, "Let's not answer how we think someone wants to hear." Or what someone wants to hear, be real, be sure. There's different options.
It, bro. That's it.
She was like, share different options.
Understands. Sierra understands.
Give an option and whatever.
So Gates just said, no, what we're saying is, Blake, you were physically attracted to your wife early in the game.
I was.
And that's all
we were trying to say. That's all we were saying. That's all we were saying.
But wait.
That's all we were saying.
All right, let's vibrate up. Let's vibrate up for a second.
No.
Let's vibrate up.
Upward.
First of all, with my energy, what I'm attracted to, how I meditate, I already know she's gonna be beautiful. That ain't even a question. That's not even a question.
But we asked you the question.
We asked that question.
My energy.
We gotta relax.
Okay, I'm relaxing.
Okay, we just gotta relax.
Okay, but listen what I'm saying.
I'm just saying we gotta relax.
All right.
So you ain't had no aunties?
No. Huh?
You ain't had no aunties?
No. Listen what I'm saying. Come on, bro. Listen, this is what I'm saying. With my energy, with my understanding, and how I think about I'm not questioning whether or not she was going to be beautiful, because I was attracted to her from the beginning. That's the first thing I seen.
Okay.
We asked you
that. That was the first thing that Bird said. That was the first thing that Bird said, bro.
Yes.
Hey, we gotta ask you that, Blake. But what we gotta do?
That's crazy.
We gotta relax.
Yeah, let's relax.
We just gotta relax.
That's all we was trying to say.
But we were talking. I thought we were talking about.
But hold on. Personally, I tried to get y'all to understand that. Here's what Blake was trying to say. It's just that sex wasn't. Like there was no spot on the list for him with sex as far as priority list. That's what I was trying to get y'all to understand.
All he had to say was assumed. But it's like we just want we asked a direct question.
You want a direct answer.
And so just say boom. You know what I'm saying?
So you asked me what you guys just asked me, was I physically attracted to her, right?
Yeah, because we were making a larger point about another issue.
But being physically attracted to someone and focusing on intimacy, saying I gotta try it 30 times.
No. We get that. We were just trying to have a conversation and say, hey, listen, we understand. Beauty is basically one of the factors that you take into account when you want to court someone.
And
that's all we were saying. That's all we were saying. That's it.
My apologies, Facebook. I read it wrong. My apologies.
This is what Facebook is saying. Stacey just said most people are physically attracted to someone before a word is even spoken.
Absolutely.
When one opens their mouth, that could either make or break the attraction.
Absolutely.
And listen, I've said it before.
That's when the mind kicks in.
That's when the mind kicks in.
Like I said,
And
Facebook,
DA,
my apologies.
Shout out
I
to
take it.
Stace.
And DA, I've told you this before.
Yeah.
Just shout out to Stacey. I've told DA this before. More men talk themselves out of pussy than they do in the pussy.
He said
And
that.
honestly,
And I
if
agree
you
with
just
that.
shut up,
Just shut
right?
up.
Because like at the end of the day, a woman knows in the first 10 seconds whether she's willing to get funky with you.
And then the thing that I wanted to say, because we went on that, we was on that other subject. But the thing I wanted to say though was I just really wanted to emphasize, like, it's important because you made a mention about when you told Tia, your wife, these were the conditions if she was going to date you. And the reason I wanted to harp on that, or I want to really shed a light on that, is because men, even the brothers watching this, yeah, women control access to sex, but you also control it too in the sense that you set a standard. You know what I'm saying? Dudes set standards. You be like, yo, because if you want to get down, if you're a brother that want to get down within the first 3 weeks of meeting someone, and that's your standard, if she doesn't meet that standard, it's done. You catch what I'm saying? If you're one of those dudes that says that, hey, you got some other dudes that you're talking to, you cannot talk to them anymore. Once me and you are talking and she says yes, then you're going to go through with it. If she says no, then you're done. You see what I'm saying? And it's important that we talk about that, especially for men, that men need to understand. Just because, yes, you cannot get in without her saying you can come in.
Yeah.
However, you can set standards on what doors you knock on.
And listen, and we all know that everything has changed. You know, Bill Cosby is
There's a lot of
evident.
yes,
You know what I'm saying?
yes.
Like what used to be is no longer. You know what I'm saying? How you approach a female now is so very different than what you had to do before.
You can't joke no more.
And to be
Shout
honest
out to
with
Andrew
you,
Cuomo.
but in this shout out goes back to like episodes ago when we talked about chivalry being dead or not, right? Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, chivalry still exists. If you are still chivalrous in heart and in nature, like I truly believe that a chivalrous cat can survive all changes and all evolution in relationships and people, because chivalry is going to still lead to the one place, right? Like at the end of the day, it's like if I'm a basketball player and I shoot 1,000 free throws a day, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, I'm shooting at that one target.
I don't know. It depends on if
like
women.
my percentage is going to be a lot higher when I shoot 1,000, when I make 1,000 a day versus when I shoot 1,000 a day, bro.
I think that depends on the. I think that depends on whether or not there's a supply of women who appreciate said chivalry. You can be chivalrous all you want, but if the people don't appreciate that, it ain't going nowhere. I just yeah.
So let me ask all y'all a question real quick. And I know we gotta go to commercial.
No, we got to move forward. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna come right back.
Okay.
So we got to move forward just a little bit, but I want to make sure that I don't cut anybody off. But you know, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying.
Is this for everybody? Or just
No. This for everybody. But I want you to think about what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Think about what I'm saying.
Me personally,
everybody. Mm-hmm. Most of the women that you've been attracted to, or most of the women that came in your life, is there common similarities between all of them? No. I'm just saying. Is there common similarity between the figure, the hair, or whatever? It's not common similarity between all
physical?
of them?
No.
No.
Physical,
no, not
absolutely
physical. No, not physical.
Personality-wise,
Where were you going with that one? I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm curious.
I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I'm
He's
curious.
speaking from a type.
Oh, okay.
From a
Okay.
type.
No.
I'm just saying,
Like, do you have a type?
I'm like Ray Shrimp.
I ain't got no time. Hey.
But what I'm saying is, typically. Well, I'm just
Speaking for myself, right?
Man.
But there's typically common similarities between
mom?
a woman that you.
Your mom.
I'm trying to beat him to the punch, so I may be wrong.
But what I'm saying,
I mean,
I'm saying there's typically more common similarity between the women that you're attracted to, for the most part. They come into your frequency, your way. So that's all I'm saying. So you understand?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I can speak for me. Like the women that the women that always made it to me.
Right.
They smart. Like they
what else is common about it?
No, I mean they smart. They're they slightly different. You know what I'm saying? They're a bit different.
What else
but
is common?
physically they all range.
Okay.
They all range. Like they all range. Like yeah.
Oh wow.
Box. I mean, box is box. And so, but it's just that they've all, but they usually, my type. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, my type is, just you got to be like kind of cool and smart.
Kind of cool and smart. Okay. So we can wrap it up. Go ahead, G man. Talk to us, brother.
Listen. So shout out to Sierra. Right? Sierra's like, yo, I got to go to work. Stacy's like, I'm supposed to be getting ready for work. She's like, I keep telling y'all can be anywhere in the world, but y'all here with us, and we appreciate it, man. Sierra, I want to shout out to you. Thank you for your input. Stacy, thank you for your input. Gates.
No, hey,
you
Gates,
a wild
no hate.
boy. You a wild boy. Listen, that joker said, Blake said he dated some of the most beautifulest women in the world.
Hey, Gates, pull out your book. I'll pull out my book. Let's run it.
No, we don't have books.
So
we don't have books.
Listen,
we got to do that.
I'm just saying.
What we not
I
gonna
stand
do,
on what I said.
I feel you, but what we're not going to do is have an archaic verses about who got the baddest black book. So we're going to move forward like some gentlemen, and we're going to pay just all we got.
Hey, I'm still Tony Love. Don't get it twisted.
And I feel you, and both of y'all are from Dade County.
So hold on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what we got to do.
Both of them went to the rig.
We ain't got to pay the mortgage, but we definitely got to pay the water bill. Like we ain't got to pay the mortgage, but we got to pay the water bill. Give us like 3 minutes, man. Give us 3 minutes. We're gonna be right back with the poetry, man. We're coming back.
Count up. I mean, count up for real.
I'm in love with the money.
Blueface.
Love with the money. I'm so in love with them hunters. I'm so in love with them hunters. I'm so in love with them hunters. I gotta go get that money. I'm so in love with them hunters. I'm so in love with them hunters. I'm so in love with them hunters. I gotta go get that money. I'm so in love with them hunters. I'm so in love with them hunters. I'm so in love with them hunters. I gotta go get that money. I'm so in love with them hunters. I'm so in love with them hunters. I'm so in love with them hunters.
Racks, them hundreds. You so in love with that money? You on the block chasing petty change. I'm so in love with them hundreds. I get it in niggas state to state. I be jugging all across the town. Me and my niggas gon' shut it down. Whatever we want, we gon' cop it now. Christian luge for the winter time. Dabbing all across the lobby. Camera action paparazzi. Instagram bitches watching. I hate to say it, niggas jocking. 3,000 on Robbins. It ain't your business, it's my problem. I'm on the boat eating lobster. Shrimp, don't forget the pasta. Money steady coming in. I want a Billy, not a Range Rover. 5 G's to make a changeover. I be trapping in the same clothing. I know your hoe wanna fuck with me. She know I get it in, not the city. Swear up and down, I'm a drug dealer. She see how my niggas be foreign whipping.
I'm so in love with them hunters. I'm so in love with them hunters. I'm so in love with them hunters. I gotta go get that money. I'm so in love with them hunters. I'm so in love with them hunters. I'm so in love with them hunters. I gotta go get that money. I'm so in love with them hunters. I'm so in love with them hunters. I'm so in love with them hunters. I gotta go get that money. I'm so in love with them hunters. I'm so in love with them hunters. I'm so in love with them hunters. I gotta get that money. I gotta go get that money. I'm so in love with them hunters. The money is steady becoming. I will not miss it for nothing. The beamer pull up is disgusting. Stop all the hate, get some money. Bitches pull up to my show. All I'm ready to blow. Big man fit just in my phone. Told me meet him on the scroll. He got a jug and I know. 10 racks are better for sure. I get the cash and I go. Them honest, them honest, them honest. 300 junkies, they coming. They running, they running, they running. Might take a bitch out the country. You better might buy you some bottles. Just bought a phone like damn. She weak, she get blocked on the ground. I'm so in love with them honest. I'm so in love with them honest. I'm so in love with them honest. I gotta go get that money. I'm so in love with them honest. I'm so in love with them honest. I'm so in love with them honest. I gotta go get that money. I'm so in love with them honest. I'm so in love with them honest. I'm so in love with them honest. I gotta go get that money. I'm so in love with them honest. I'm so in love with them honest. I'm so in love with them honest. I gotta get that money.
DJ Fresh.
We on. Sorry.
Okay. All right, we back in the building. Listen, we paid the Wi-Fi bill, we paid the water bill, and listen, some of us still paying the water bill apparently. But listen, we here, right? And we with y'all, just like y'all with us. So we got a lot of topics that we wanted to discuss. What I want to do though, is let's break up some of this passion, some of this intensity, right? And listen, let's hit this poetry scene real quick. I'm not finna let today go by and we don't spit no poetry. So that's just me. Listen, I said it last week, and I'm gonna stand on that I ain't going first. And matter of fact, I'm going after Bird. So Bird goes second, I'm going third. Bird goes third, I'm going fourth.
All right, I'm leave.
I'm standing on that, man. Crazy. I want my flowers too. Fuck y'all.
You the Renaissance man though, bro.
I feel you.
Let me hit last, bro. Let me take last, bro. You got a real Renaissance.
Are you trying to say I can't close?
No, that's exactly what he said.
No. What I'm saying is, brother,
respectfully, you know the piece. I showed you the piece. You know the piece is fire.
If I'm the only person that's freestyling my poetry, I think that I should be able to come at the end, brother.
Correct. No.
Oh,
correct.
so if I freestyle, I can go last?
Yes, you can.
Oh, okay. Well, next week I'm freestyling.
Say last there, bro.
Oh, okay.
All right, because we didn't agree on that.
Okay, you're right.
Back to your point. We didn't collectively. We didn't agree on that.
You're right. Ain't nobody say that last week when I said. Ain't nobody say that last week. I remember the Super Bowl bet.
I'm just saying, I learned a valuable lesson.
Super Bowl bet, people still owe me money.
Hey, what is it, $20?
$20. Hey, what did Bird say? Nobody disagreed. Nobody disagreed. Now he want to disagree. Now you disagreeing now.
Let's get it.
Hey, all right, I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna do my daily insight again. Okay. I have not gotten to my poetry flow with these fellers, so I'm gonna do my daily insight joint. So, money is overrated when you're mentally in debt. I'm gonna say that again. Money is overrated when you're mentally in debt. So, essentially, guys, you can have all the money in the world, but what you do with that money, right? Like for example, lottery ticket winners, they have all the money in the world, but they can't mentally, what is the word here? Compute the money that they're making and basically make financial decisions to basically what? Walk away from their job, put their money in different vehicles to make them more money. So if you're mentally don't have that capacity to educate yourself, to be in a state to know what to do with that money, then you're broke at the end of the day because guess what? You're going to run through that money because you don't know what to do with it. So I'm going to say it again. Money is overrated when you're mentally in debt. So that's my piece and I stand on that.
Okay. You get that?
Yeah.
Listen, and listen, I know that poetry ain't for everybody, right? Everything ain't for everybody, but if you listen, this is one of them things that if you rocking with us, you're gonna have to lean with it, rock with it, through it with us, right? So, so listen, DA, give us the thought. Give us a thought for the day.
The thought for the day is comfort kills. Comfort kills. At some point, we got to think about, are we pushing ourselves, particularly as men, to the extent that we need to push ourselves? Are we making ourselves uncomfortable? Broadening the scope of our experiences so that we can pass on wisdom to those who are going to follow us. And because when you get too comfortable, you become soft. And then when you become soft, you become vulnerable. And then if you're too vulnerable, you die. So it's just like, comfort kills. And so we should always be challenging ourselves. Also, always be putting ourselves to the. We got to push ourselves to the scope that we can meet the scope. We can actually feel the breadth of our strength, right? And then know at the same time where we can't go yet. You feel me? Where we can't go yet, and continue to push until we can get there, right? And so it's because to be a man, in my opinion, is to get stronger in various ways. And so, what comfort kills,
and let's not make that gender based, right? Like at the end of the day, even women need to get stronger, need to get faster.
Well,
need to get
better. And it's a choice for them, because I think we had this conversation, and low key I sometimes ask the question, and maybe this is something that got to be discussed next week, and that is, the value of accountability, right, to women, right, because a lot of women, in my opinion, can get away with not taking the blame for things going wrong. And when things do go wrong, oftentimes it's men who take the blame for that. With taking the blame,
I do want to say that a lot of times men deserve the blame for shit too.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But it's not always one party that's responsible for it. What I'm just saying is that from an individual basis, learning to take the blame, learning to take accountability forces you to grow. Forces you to do things.
But for someone like you who believes that the man is the head of the household, right? Then you should understand that if you're being the head of the household, leadership, accountability reflect leadership. Yeah. So if I'm a leader, regardless if I made the mistake, I take responsibility. Which is why somebody who works in customer service can get the CEO of a company fired if they don't know what they're doing and they cost the company money.
But as a CEO, then you have to engender accountability down the chain. Right. That means that.
But even if you could have put those measures in place. You could have a book of SOPs.
Yeah, right. But that means that you even got to be more on top of making sure everybody's doing their job.
So you got to micromanage a relationship.
Not micromanage the relationship, but you have to set very strong, explicit, and clear boundaries.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you stand on that.
Yeah.
Okay. All peace to the queens and the gods.
Yeah. I'm not attacking nobody.
Listen, let Facebook do what it do, right? Like, let Facebook do what it do. Because, normally Facebook is not nice to DA. So, because, you a different kind of dude. But, Monster Blake, you got something for us this week?
No, not this week, bro.
Oh, I'm going to be honest. If I can say it for Facebook, I'm going to say it for Facebook. I'm disappointed because I look forward to your pieces.
Yeah, and me personally, I just saw my brother looking for some poetry. Why don't you
He's
give
got
us a
thousands.
freestyle?
He's got thousands.
Give
of
us
poems.
a freestyle, brother. Come in on my note. I'm freestyling every week, brother.
All right.
Talk to me.
I did Beautiful Lies, right?
Mm-hmm. You did it. I want some off the top from right now. From the way.
Can I do it my way?
You can do it your way. I'm telling you what I want.
Okay. I did Beautiful Lies. What I did, you remember?
You did Beautiful Lies. You did Black Rose. Mm-hmm. You did the John for Selma.
Okay.
Them the last three I remember.
Okay. Okay. I'll let you go first, then I'll go.
Okay, I'm with it. I'm with. Listen, if I get the chance to hear, Blake, I'll go before Blake. So, I got a piece. Bird, I sent it to Bird. Like, just so y'all know, I sent it to Bird's Eye View because I wanted some. I sent it to Daily Insight too.
Mr. Renaissance.
He didn't give me no feedback though. You know how he do.
Mr. Renaissance.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I got some stuff to get off my chest. Like,
out your dictionaries.
And like, if I can keep it a buck with y'all, shout out to Andra Day.
Okay.
And her role as Billie Holiday.
Okay.
In the United States vs. Billie Holiday movie. I watched that. I allowed myself to really kind of dive into that. Mm-hmm. Like, I got into a real vulnerable place emotionally.
It took a hold of some place in you.
I ain't gonna lie to you. And to be honest with you, part of it too was like my wife got mad at me, and then like I watched the movie, and I was just in this space, right? I was just in this space. And so I was like, yo, I just felt like writing. And like, honestly, I had spit like 5 freestyle Jones off the top of my head while I was in the shower.
Right.
But then when I got ready to sit down and write, none of it sounded like any of that, right? So I know I spent a whole lot of time like kind of introing it.
Absolutely.
And I'm giving y'all disclaimers, you know, but I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my shit.
Absolutely.
So, listen, if you like it, chime in. If you hate it, keep that shit to yourself.
Please do.
Keep that shit to yourself.
Let's go, boy.
So, real shit. So, this piece is called My Favorite Holiday.
Yeah.
What's my favorite holiday? That's complicated and hard to say. I mean, holidays are intended to celebrate events of cultural significance. Yet I have none. Think about the damage done to people that resemble me or even my son. That good feeling that everyone describes, I can't really relate. Holidays are traditionally determined and designated by the government, both in significance and date. But the Anslingers of the world were able to ensure that I would have nothing to celebrate in the current or in retrospect. So when we discuss my favorite holiday, if I could speak with any degree of honesty, it's marred with images of blood on leaves and the trees. The trees that some may think are healthy, but for those that live under the same sun as I, represent an absurdity. Strange fruit hanging from poplar trees are the images that I see that bring me to my knees, and the images that I see that bring tears to my eyes because someone took that photo with pride. I can envision them standing there screaming, "Say cheese." Smiles by a mob of criminals that look nothing like me. But from day one, the slave houses and jail houses have been filled with ancestors that weep and look like me. And it resonates like the truth of strange fruit that the government tried to hide to the best of their ability. Arresting and vilifying my favorite holiday because of the truth in her fragility. And the sadness in her narrative, but that she sang so willingly and beautifully. But your fear handcuffed my favorite holiday to her deathbed. With nothing but memories of rape, abuse, and images of the dead. What's my favorite holiday? It sounds raspy and rough. But too high and too far removed to ever rebuff. It feels agonizing and poignant, but unfortunately words will never be enough to describe my favorite holiday. But if I try, it looks like the blood constantly running down the leaves that give you the air that you choose to breathe. And it resembles the images of my ancestors hanging from those poplar trees. So even though you removed the handcuffs 22,630 days too late, my favorite holiday can only be Billie. 62 years ago, she died a villain and a threat. And until my government does something about that, I mean, puts an end to the inequity in this country, there's no holiday that I can ever truly celebrate willingly. But for conversation's sake, what's your favorite holiday? Because mine is Billie.
Fuck with me. Fuck with me.
I think.
Listen, I just hope y'all feeling that. Like, listen, weigh in. Show me some hearts and some likes out there.
I'm not gonna hold you though. I'm not gonna hold you. I think I could speak for Facebook and say that they were fucking with you, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like I was about to hear some love, so I feel like I got to do some Black Power type stuff.
It made me want to now freestyle. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not gonna do it, but it made me want to do it. Maybe Facebook Live might catch some of that.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna hear the old classic then.
Give them the old classic. They ain't never heard it.
I ain't do knowledge yet.
You didn't do knowledge.
I'm gonna do knowledge because it's on the whole Black. I was about to get some. I was about to bring out a world new poem. Let's talk.
Let's talk about
face to face, so that our souls connect.
But
I'm gonna leave that for next week, though. Inshallah.
I'm
gonna hit the knowledge because he got me rise on the Black Power tip.
Let's get it.
Knowledge. Some people label us as a menace to society for understanding the importance of books. Just imagine if all of us was on the same page without questioning, America would have a different look. The ghetto is filled with all people that want to make a change. Only if they knew who they were and they understood the power of the brain. I'm a black man living in this white world. That's what they tell me. I say to you, and you, the world is mine with the guide of destiny. He told me be all I could be because can't nobody stop me but me. Considering all facts, do you think I got time to roam these streets? You see, knowledge is power and power creates change. Take a proper look at our alphas. They're the perfect example if you need me to explain. The thirst of knowledge is something that we all should be living by. We got too many of us as blacks dying on the streets and then asking the motherfucking question, why? You ask me why he had to die. I'm asking you, why couldn't he take a look in the book? Because it's filled with knowledge. So don't judge me by the color of my skin. If you're going to do it, please do it by my ability to think. If you ask me, that's the reason why we can't get along right now, because some of y'all act if y'all got so much rank. You see me? If I was on the other side, shit, man, I can't say I'll be thinking the same. Life so fucked up now from the true essence of Africa. I don't even know the true spirit of my last name. You can call me what you want, but my thoughts will never change. I live to die by my African roots, and that's why we'll never be on the same page. I love my color.
Knowledge.
Yo.
Knowledge.
I can't get that enough snaps. But, so here's where we at. Like, Birdie! We need the eye view because at the end of the day it's 9:44 and 9:45. And to be honest with you, we got a lot of people that are like, yo, I gotta go to work, but I really want to keep fucking with y'all. So, Bird, we gotta make sure that the people need to hear you before we go. But I also want to shout out to Gates A. Gates, right? He said that he got the new Data Mall t-shirt. He gonna post the link on the I Stand On That page. Yo, everybody grab the Data Mall shirt. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna keep the energy right though, right? We're gonna keep the energy right. Bird, I'm gonna let you go wherever it is that you go, baby.
All right. Well, I wish you can show the people on Facebook your shirt right now, brother. Can they see your shirt right now, brother?
Show him. Eric was talking about your shirt earlier.
Talk about it.
He want to know.
And say it just in case. You know what I'm saying?
So listen. They want our rhythm, but not our blues.
Yeah.
That's listen. We don't wear brand names no more, man. I ain't promoting nobody else. I'm promoting messages, bro. So that's where I'm at.
So check this out. The piece is coming straight from the shirt of Gary, right? And I'm going to start it off with the words on the shirt. They want our rhythm, but not our blues. They accept when we win, but hate when we lose. See, in this race of life, I think they've took our smile for something different. I think that they haven't saw that through the beatings and all of the misconceptions, what was really missing. See, back in the days of Maya Angelou, she used to speak a lot about the smile. And she used to say that it was her people that would let our world continue going round and round. But see, when it comes to our rhythm is steady.
You remember back in the podcast when we was talking about the difference between those who was willing and ready? See, back in the days of my ancestors, every last one of them was blessed. We didn't have the option of sitting down with our kids to give them a simple caress. We couldn't sit down like a child, a real child, to suck on the mother's breast. That breast was lent to the master who needed his kid fed, so you know the rest. But see, our rhythm kept flowing like a wave, up and down it goes. But you gotta understand that with that rhythm, what did we collect? Straight, strong flow. But see, you gotta understand that what is flow spelt backwards? Brother, you get wolf. And I'm telling you right now that they don't understand all we took. See, we would birth something in this world, but wouldn't be able to keep it. We would be able to teach somebody else's child, but keep our child a secret. See, everything in which we tried to build, these people tried to dismantle. But it was due to the fact, like Akil said, our knowledge they couldn't handle. So when it came to a holiday, they said, no, we don't appreciate these so-called animals, so they threw us down with hate. But we build the society in which they lived in with non-sobriety. They sat down and they wanted to argue about a Boston Tea Party. Fuck a party. When it came to our lives, that shit was hardly good. Even in today, I still get what? So many chills when I visit the hood. Akil, you know, we was just in the projects the other day. As we cruised through the projects, we was like, God damn, what a beautiful day. I'm talking about fish fries outside and barbecues to the heavens. But whoa, rest in peace to all of my people who died on 9/11. You gotta sit down and think about the things that we all been through. I know some men in the street right now that got 9/11 running in their veins too. See, they dying and they people's dying and they really done been through some things. But the things that they've been through, they sit down and we speak to each other and they say, we only been through things that the government bring. I done been sat down, shackled, sat down on the porch by the police, sidewalk talks while everybody else see me. But I'm a black man, so I guess that's what I'm privy to. But at the end of the day, they don't know what I'm living through. See, I'm living through destruction while still living in the midst of construction. But you don't remember that everything that we built, Black Wall Street, they tore that shit down with no reproduction. Come on, man! Hold up. They sat down and they said that blacks wasn't built for wealth. No. The reason why we had integration was because segregation separated us from everybody else. You gotta understand that we was in a lane all by ourselves. And even as we still trying to come up in this lane, we gotta sit down and give recognition to everybody else. And if we don't, it's like the black lives don't matter no more. So we gotta sit down and treat other people's lives and other people's children like we've always done, like it's a chore. When I get to the master's house, I gotta sit down and ask him for more. When he knows that I got children that's at home hurting, but at the same time, he don't give a fuck. Eat what's on the floor. It's really just that simple. But I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm gonna end it in this word. Temple. And the reason why I say temple is because all of us should treat our body as such. Because at the end of the day, I think that you, I, and everybody that's listening don't give our bodies that much. We sit down and we don't know the brain, but once we learn the brain, we can understand the pain and understand that the pain that we feeling is not the same from what they dealing. Because I promise you, everything that starts with winning ends with a feeling. And that feeling may not be desire. That feeling may not be pleasure. That feeling may be a man with no water and no child and no clothes that's sitting in a burning desert. But he still had to get through to the end. And me, I'm not a father, but I still treat my brothers like children that I defend. So any person that comes against my brother, it doesn't matter the color of the mother, I stand for that, brother. And I want to tell you this. Allahu Akbar! I'm a man that understands that I can love a man and still know that me as a man will lie and die undercover.
Wow! I will ride for my guys. Give me 2 claps to the Ric Flair. Woo!
Most stuff.
Yo, that was crazy. That was bananas. That was bananas. Listen, I'm glad that I was able to inspire such a piece, brother. Like, I'm glad that Blake was able to inspire such a piece. You know what I'm saying?
I see the heart. Okay.
Get your heart up.
Yeah.
David, DA, are you excited about the hearts and the lights?
I love it. Yo,
are you excited?
I'm not gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. It make me want to fucking. But that's gonna be next Sunday. That's gonna be next time. I think I'm gonna chime in lyrically next time.
Listen, thank you.
I'm loving it. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Honestly, I'm just trying to force. I'm just
loving
trying to
it.
everybody to share.
You already
know what I mean? Facebook, man,
got
get
it.
out there.
He said, "I don't
get out there
got
with
nobody,
us.
guys."
Real talk. Like if you a poet, listen. Real talk. If you a poet, if you an artist on any level, right? Get at us on Facebook. Shoot us an email. Shoot us a message. Because we want to put y'all on the air.
She said he slaughtered that.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen. This is what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna put the email. So we got an email. Independent artists. We play music. We can play their music on our breaks when we paying bills. And also, if you want to be featured, email me as well. I'll put that email in the comments and basically email us. Say, hey, I want to be featured on the show on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? And we can add you on our actual segment.
Sierra said she want to write 16. I give you 16 bars, Sierra. Let's do it, right?
Also,
let's connect.
Let me write 16.
When it comes to our young black entrepreneurs, please tap in. Shout out to Stacy and Styles Galore. You know what I'm saying? But tap in if you got a business that you want to produce or advertise. Let us know. You know, we always here for the young black entrepreneurs.
Tell her to send it to the email.
Send it to the email, and we'll definitely put it out on the next podcast. Most definitely.
So listen, here's what just so y'all know, we went ahead and we gonna try to go ahead and make sure that we pin that comment,
the email,
with the email that we have out there for y'all, so that y'all can go ahead and make sure that y'all send us something. But at the end of the day, listen, we gonna end this episode like that because to be honest with you, it's 9:55, and I understand that we all got work to do tomorrow. I can keep going. But listen,
we enjoyed y'all, man.
We loved y'all this week, man. This has been a great episode. Thank y'all for chiming in. Facebook Live, hang in for a minute because while we paying bills, we still gonna rock with y'all.
Yeah.
So, Lump, go ahead and take us out, man. But listen, be sure to understand one thing, y'all. If you ain't here for episode 8, you late.
Yeah.
But it don't prevent you from being great. You can come through and join us at any time. But if you could be anywhere in the world, I promise you where you need to be.
Right here
with us.
With us, man.
Come with us, yeah.
Hey, Facebook Live.
Yeah. Come here. Gotta have somebody doing that. Come here, show me how you do that there. Come here, show me how you do that there. Come here, show me how you do that there. Body banging, couldn't help but stare. Come here, show me how you do that there. Come here, show me how you do that there. Come here, show me how you do that there. Body banging, couldn't help but stare. Bring it back, shake it if you got it, I'll be right back. Cause that head be the bomb, it's like a wife that. But I'm going by the morning, ass too fat. Shit, I'm just being honest. Stuck it in her mouth, dropped the kids off at college. She 23 and go to NKU. And she ain't on commitment, so she my type too. But really, I'm just trying to see you with no clothes on. Thong song, let me beat it up till the sun come. Know I last long, shit'll race you one. Finish line every time, got yours, get mine. Ride it like a pony, like you owe me, go and show me. Come here, show me how you do that there. Come here, show me how you do that there. Come here, show me how you do that there. Body banging, couldn't help but stare. Brown, black, light skin, Asian, Caucasian. Cute face, nice ass, no discriminating. The way it bounced back, I might put it in rotation. She shake it or whatever, I could probably do better. Thicker than a Snicker, package get delivered. Either way, I ain't want the whole thing, just a sliver. Cold as the winter, teeth chatter, bone shiver. Got under my skin like a goddamn splinter. Think I'm about to bust and it's no sprinter. Licking on her flesh, know her ex still bitter. Maintain all game, not the only batter. But we can chill about any day, I'm down for about whenever. Come here, show me how you do that there. Come here, show me how you do that there. Come here, show me how you do
Everybody banging, couldn't help but stare.